feel free to unmute yourself if you like. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
sir. How art thou?
Art thou feeling thy morning feels nice?
Mm, a nice morning.
Good morrow. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Side by Side Movies Podcast. I'm CJ Robles,
And I'm Ben Garrett.
and welcome to our show. It's 5 days, and we'll hit the 1 year anniversary.
Man, that's great. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
I didn't even realize we were gonna kind of like I don't know if it's like end the first year like this or just go into it, but this is a good it's a good way to kind of get the season or the year one, because I don't know how we got here, but we have paper trail, so we
Yep.
can find how we got. Um, I do want to do a little in the 1 year that we've been doing this. I
hmm
have learned quite a few things about not just streaming, podcasting, and the technical side, but I've learned that the audio is king.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. And also, please don't play that cat's clip again.
oh, come on.
I understand that you have mastered the technique of displaying a clip and then letting it play and taking it away and doing that. Your your skills on the computer, sir, have increased exponentially in the last year, especially with the podcasting aspect, I believe, and mine as well. Look at this. We started off with AirPods and
Dude,
iPads and everything like that. I got my 2009 iMac all set up, looking good. Now we
well,
got a mic to it. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, we've come so far.
we have, and I like the fact that you're that this morning that we did have a little technical difficulty on
Yeah,
your end.
right. Yeah.
So it's you too, man. You're like, hold on, I think this. Like, I like that you were going through the progressions. You're like, it could be this, and that's problem solving. That's troubleshooting. And by the way, like I'm saying that I got these new. I just got it in yesterday. I upgraded. I have a new. Just gonna throw it out there. Maybe get some sponsorship for us. But I got the Focusrite, the 2i2. That's what I'm using right now to
Hey.
come in. But you see the headphones there.
hmm
Those are these are nothing like from our first starting off from side by side. These nice ones that I have here. I don't even know really know the brand. I think this might be. I don't know. They have the little what's his name? This little guy on it. But
Oh, Bob Ross.
no, not Bob Ross. The other guy, Rip Torn. Is it Rip Torn?
Oh yeah, the
I
one
think.
that does at the end of
Yeah,
Jackass.
yeah. I think that's Rip Torn. Oh no, Rip Torn is the actor. What's the other
Oh
one?
yeah, no,
Rip
it's Rip
Taylor.
Taylor.
Rip
Rip
Taylor,
Taylor.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rip Torn is a good actor. This is a Rip Taylor. So it's got this, but these work out. These work fine. These work perfect for what you need to get started. But I can't hear anything around me because of these headphones. These are brand new. Like, oh look, there we go. I can hear myself. I can't hear myself with these things. These are I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I just found this out. I can hear you perfect though. So does the outside world exist while I'm on here anymore? We'll find out. But well, congratulations. We have
Whoa.
made it this far. I see it as getting past maybe level one. I actually don't know how my audio levels are coming in right now, but they should be. I set it up last night. I did a little
Sound good over
practice.
here.
Cool, cool. So
Yeah.
let's get started. Let's just gonna let everybody know what we're doing. We are Side by Side Movies podcast. We take two movies that have something in a common interest and I just talk about it. We don't really look too far into it ahead of time, and we don't really do a whole lot of research. As you see us watching the movie, I mean, as you see us talk about the movies, you kind of play it in the background and kind of just play them both play one after the other. We kind of watch an hour and kind of just have it there for guidelines. But the reason we do this is it's open discussion with two buddies. So today we do in Shallow Hal, 2001, PG-13, 1 hour 54 minutes, comedy, drama, fantasy. A shallow man falls in love with a 300-pound woman because of her inner beauty. Directors Bobby and Peter Farrelly. Writers Sean Moynihan, Peter and Bobby Farrelly. Stars Jack Black, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jason Alexander. We're putting it next to side by side with the Three Stooges, 2012, PG, 1 hour 32 minutes. This is a comedy family. While trying to save their childhood orphanage, Mo, Larry, and Curly inadvertently stumble into a murder plot and wind up starring in a reality television show. Directors Bobby and Peter Farrelly. Writers Mike Cerrone, Bobby and Peter Farrelly. Stars Sean Hayes, Chris Diamantopoulos, and or Topoulos, and Will Sasso. I said that wrong last time. So, what'd you think, man? Well,
I think we got some repeat offenders, man.
I think we got a lot of repeat offenders in Shallow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously it's going to happen since you've been around for 1 year, you know. But yeah, man. In the Three Stooges as well, we have Will Sasso, just one of the leads. He's a repeat offender from Super Troopers 2.
Oh yeah.
Then that was one of the firsts. Let's see here from Shallow Hal. Who we got? So first, what do you got?
I was gonna say I totally forgot to say this in the beginning. Our common thing is the Farrelly brothers. They made both these movies.
Oh yeah.
So, and as you'll find out when I release the rewatch right now episodes, in the last episode of Side by Side, I was calling them the Farrelly. So the Farrelly brothers. I don't want to do that. The Farrelly, they're amazing. Jack Black, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jason Alexander as the 3 stars. But then as our repeat offenders, we have is Kyle Gass the first? Is this his? He's our first time with him, right? He isn't the other half to Jack Black.
Yeah.
Kate.
Tenacious D.
Tenacious D. That's a
Yeah, man. I think so. Well, honestly, we could probably look him up. He didn't have two. Let's see. We haven't done Elf. Cable Guy.
You know what? No, I was thinking something else. You're right. I don't think we come across them, but when you get across JB, there's a high chance you're going to get Kyle Gass in this.
Oh yeah, he will. If we ever see JB again, he will for sure. Yeah, no, new guy.
The one thing I love about this movie, Shell How, and like I was explaining to you, it does fall into my my category of movies that I owned in high school. That I kind of think about them at the $1 bin or $3 bin at Walmart, and this is one of them. This one, like Night at the Roxbury. A-Team, not A-Team, sorry, Dream Team, some movies like that, and I remember just like I had this one, I was constantly playing it in the background, and I always just watch it, and it's just, I mean, just seeing Jason Alexander, you got George Costanza
with hair,
with
man.
hair,
no,
man. Yeah, so that's another thing, and then the whole illusion of this movie is it's at this point in their career, the Farrelly brothers, they're using, like I picked up a lot more camera angles, a lot more shots, a lot more, because you're in the space at the same time where a guy is seeing something that you're not seeing. So like, I don't know, this is a pretty deep movie, don't you think? Like,
it really is, man. Like for being called shallow, man, it definitely has a lot of depth to it, man. And it with Shallow Hal too, like it has some tearjerker moments, like whenever he goes back to the children's hospital and sees Cadence again, and it's just like boom, right there in your face, and it definitely hits you in the feels. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed this movie. I remember watching this as a kid, like 2001. I was 10, 11, and I remember going to Blockbuster and renting this movie whenever I went to go to my sister's for the summer. Yeah. And I would just like watch this over and over again because I got like 3 movies. I was like, I want to try this one, not just watch them again. What was the other one, man? There was something else. I think we've probably already done it on the show. now that I'm thinking about it, I'll think of it later. But yeah, Shallow Hal was definitely in that bunch. I think that was also the year that I got like South Park at
Ah,
Blockbuster. Like they had, one of those cassette, or yeah, I think it was a cassette actually. Um, but you could it had like 5 episodes on there, just like random ones that were combined by a theme, you know.
yeah.
And yeah, man, a lot of good memories with Shallow Hal for sure. Um,
On breaking news, real quick, you did bring up South Park, and I did kind of want to bring into it. They bought Casa Bonita.
yes,
they bought it. They bought the actual Casa Bonita.
I want to go. I want to go. I want to see. I want to see how well they did on what it's really like. Do they have Black Bart's cave in there?
I
Do they
I
have cliff divers? That's what I want to know.
I
I actually
think
watched Casa Bonita the other day. That's one of my favorites.
he's trying to run away from the cops on Cartman.
Yeah,
I think the Casa Bonita episode is I mean not the episode, but just the reference in South Park. I think it's an actual location that they
it
picked,
is.
and the because I was watching it and it was on YouTube, and it was like a Colorado, I guess where's it located? What part? Where it's
I mean, no, South Park.
I don't know. It's in South. It's in Colorado, and they were saying that the news anchor that was interviewing Trey and Matt was like, "So you guys gonna do something about the quality, right? You're gonna because apparently it's really bad." so
They said no.
no, no, they said yeah, they're gonna step it up a bit, but you remember I think we had talked about I don't remember if we had the conversation on the show, but we had a conversation, but they were thinking about doing a restaurant their next thing, and then they actually did it. They actually
Yeah.
went in,
Wow.
they
Well,
went in,
and they just made a deal with Paramount. I know that for like through season 30 and then like 14 movies or something like that
oh my
that they're going to do on Paramount Plus. So
I,
definitely going to have to get that.
I got Paramount Plus, and I love a lot of stuff they have on there, man. It's
Yeah.
been I'm like, wow, this is cool. Paramount Plus has got it. It's one of my I can't believe I can pick an app that I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like that. I thought I was just watching a movie, but it's not like now. It's like looking for a movie, searching it. One thing I did watch, I'm watching Shallow Hal on. I think it's called it's on IMDb. It's called Freeform. One thing I thought was funny was I caught on. There's a bunch of scenes where they use in the beginning where they use the word shit,
Mm-hmm.
and it muted it blocked it.
Interesting.
I was like censorship. What? It's the word.
Right?
It's the word. What? I can't say the word. They're censoring me right now as we speak. Shit. What?
That's why I love Amazon Prime. I feel like we're just like spokespeople for and our next ad
I need-
is for YouTube because that's where I watch the Three Stooges with ads, which I think that's really cool that YouTube does that, man. What's up?
I rented it.
You didn't know that?
No, I went looking for it and I forgot. You got
Dude,
it.
I'm so sorry.
got
I
it.
should have told you. I was thinking about telling you, but I was like, nah, he's got it. I totally forgot. I'll
No, you
let
don't
you know.
that's not. It's not your fault. I just I'm like I forget to check that because there's like you can check the IMDb app and then you could go and it'll tell you where it's at. But you could also check your like your Roku app. You can check other places that it'll be and or Google search.
Well, the Roku, man, because I'll look on there to see where where the movies are at. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go and search it, you have the view options. It'll tell you. YouTube doesn't pop up on there. That's
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll do IMDb TV or IMDb
Yeah, IMDb TV, right?
TV. Boy, that's a mouthful right there. It does everything. I saw it on Freeform too. And did you like get a subscription or something?
Yeah,
or
well,
do you already-
I have the one of those. They say put your subscription in there, and I just put it in there, and Cox. So I just
Nice.
I just gotta try to. I knew you were waiting for that word, but yeah,
Nice.
I use the we have that. So I looked into it, but I guess looking into the movie, I have it playing Shallow Hal right now.
I have
I'm
Three
about-
Stooges playing.
I got about 20 minutes in, but always when you search for movies, you should search everywhere to see where they're at
Yeah.
nowadays, especially
No.
older ones.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Three Stooges is technically old. I mean, what it's like almost
nine-
it's almost 10 years old.
Almost 10 years old.
That's crazy, man. And listening to some of the music in here, I was like, this sounds like music that I've heard recently.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm.
what you got?
And I was gonna say, before we get back to these conversations, have you heard of Patrice O'Neill, the comedian?
Yeah, he passed away
He passed
Long
away.
time ago.
He's like it's almost like 11 years now since he passed.
Yeah.
But if you they have the older Opie and Anthony shows, he's
Mhm.
on them, and he did a lot of those. Now that show's very vulgar and it's very like comedy, guys. It's like 10 years ago, but a lot of the stuff he says back then, it's still it was relevant until 2020. I was noticing because now stuff like he was bringing up the Ellen show, and he was talking about Ellen show how it was, and then all that stuff happened with Ellen. So it's not really around anymore. But the fact that he was still able to talk about, it felt like I don't know because as Ellen was going through that stuff, I was listening to a few episodes because I love Patrice O'Neill. Sadly, he's gone, but as I was listening to him, I was like, man, this sounds like it's recently came out. Like this is like 8 years old, 7 years old. Like this is like sounds new. But then things tend to hang around for a while. This is a remake of Three Stooges, which is a modern telling of it, and something you noticed as a PG movie. I didn't notice that either. So we're kind of stepping away. We're seeing that the Farrelly brothers can go like a lot of like they're. I don't know if they were addressed like, hey, can you make a PG Three Stooges movie or can you make a PG movie in general? Like that was the thing about I was wondering with these guys because like they're getting they gotten good, man. They understand movies, they understand film, and I was thinking about this movie. It's made in 2001. I love that it's a younger Jack Black. It's Gwyneth Paltrow when she's I think she's barely been around since like the mid 90s, so she's already kind of come into full like form almost where she starts to become Gwyneth Paltrow because it's also a comedy, but like a really dark comedy, but it's got a lot and it has it says comedy, drama, fantasy. But the thing is, could you remake Shallow Hal now?
No, I was just gonna say I don't even know if Gwyneth Paltrow now would want to do Shallow Hal. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
don't even,
Gwyneth Paltrow that we of today. I don't.
yeah.
Well, I mean, she'd already done Seven. I mean, she had some chops, but I think this was probably one of those like kind of like Disney does. Like you sign with that studio and you got to do a certain amount of
Yeah.
pictures for them, and I feel like that's what Shallow Hal was for Gwyneth Paltrow. But she did a good job. Like it wasn't like she just phoned it in. Like she was a very good actress in this. I enjoyed her performance. She was yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it was very believable. You know?
I think man, it's kind of I feel like Gwyneth Paltrow, like you're right, the Gwyneth that has ascended to the $80 scented candle salesman these days or
Yeah.
saleswoman, like she's like she's part of MCU.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. I've seen just like little bits of her outings outside of movies, and I just I think to myself, I'm like, she's an MCU, man. She's fine. I don't really care what she does outside, as long as she's not hurting people too terribly. Financially, that's your own thing.
You need to be careful. That's a tight rope right there, brother. Because Disney, they there's a hole. They'll cover it. That's the thing, dude.
Billions.
Yeah, I mean, Scarlett Johansson's going up against her right now, and it's like, yeah, you're not gonna win that.
Oh, I mean, she very well may. I think honestly,
against Disney.
I mean, they'll settle, but I mean, she's gonna get what she wants. She wants the money, and that's fine because she's earned it. She's put up.
I don't know about that.
What do you
mean?
About
that? It's business, bro. It's all business.
Yeah, man.
She signed the fine print.
No,
so that's what I'm saying.
But
like,
she what she did is the fine print wasn't included in Disney Plus. I mean, I like I said, I haven't read the contract, so I could be wrong. But from what I understand, is that she went to go renegotiate with like the Disney Plus once they announced that they were going to do that side by side. I'll plug right there.
I threw it
Side by side release, and so she went to go renegotiate, and they wouldn't, and that's why the suit got started. Like if they had just renegotiated with him, there wouldn't be a problem.
That's the thing you're kind of you're not focused on. It's called renegotiation. A lot of people don't like to renegotiate.
No, but see, in her contract, her salary was based off of ticket sales.
Yeah, and then
in
they
theaters,
did the streaming.
and then they did the streaming, and in the contract, it didn't say it was going to be released on Disney Plus. Whenever she first signed the contract for Black Widow, Disney Plus was just getting started, and the pandemic wasn't even going on.
I get what you're saying.
So, I mean, that's like I said, I haven't read the contract, but that is my take on why she actually has a case. Because, first off, if she doesn't have a case, why go up against Disney? What's
It's more ticket sales, more
no,
get people to
no?
watch,
Well,
get
dude,
people to
you know
watch
what's great?
the Black Widow.
You
To
think
pay
that, dude?
to pay to watch the Black Widow because I'm gonna
I'm
pay to watch it.
no, I did, and it was totally worth it. I'm going to go support that movie. First off, I like the MCU. I really have enjoyed Scarlett Johansson throughout these films. You know, and it's about damn time she did get her own movie. I believe because I mean, to be fair, she did have a cool backstory. She really did, and they kind of made that prevalent. I mean, she knew about the Winter Soldier. She has that connection. You know, you have the all that. But anyway,
Yeah. Anyways, so I'm just getting here some of the trivia for Shallow Hal, which is this is some pretty cool little things to kind of listen on the movie because like one thing we did find out that you even mentioned last episode that the Farley brothers they really don't they put different characters in their movies and even one thing I got the cab driver and the scene where what's his name Hal is in the scene with that girl with the share cab where this is just right after he just met Tony Robbins and or Anthony Robbins or Tony Robbins. He just met him, and he's in the car with that girl, and the cab driver's listening to the conversation, and he's like, "What the hell?" And the cab driver is he's definitely a repeat offender in the Farley brothers, and he's a repeat offender in ours. He's driving, but in real life, he's paralyzed. You know what I'm talking about, right?
really, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, let's find it. I gotta find him out real quick, but he's been in Kingpin. He was in. Recall, he just is in the Big. Was it the Big Lebowski? No,
Was he?
No, he's the other one.
Was Stuck on You?
Stuck on You. Yeah, he does. It's crazy. He's in an actual. Well, not crazy, but he's in an actual wheelchair. I like the illusion. He's driving the cab.
Yeah,
I gotta get his name down, but I don't. I gotta.
I think I have a repeat offender as well. Let's see here. Her name is Carly West. She was in Stuck on You as well, and she was in the Three Stooges. But she was the nurse in Shallow Hal towards the end. Whenever he goes and asks for Rosemary at the hospital.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of repeat offenders with the Farley brothers. Like I said,
they definitely use I guess their network or their friends. I don't know if these are actors that just didn't get a break, so let them in, or these are people they grew up with, or I don't. It just seems that it's the same guy, and I like that. I mean, I'm a View Askew guy. I don't mind repeat people, and as I've watched Clerks a couple of weeks ago, I did the when I was home alone, I did the Clerks 1 and Clerks 2. Back to back binge. I didn't know about the Walt Flanagan character. You were the one that introduced and brought up to me, and now I can't like unsee it, which is like insane. Like
who are we talking about now?
Walt Flanagan and Clerks.
Oh yeah, you put all the roles.
Yeah. Like I was like, what? Like I didn't pick it up really the first time. I kind of noticed it, but I let it. Like I said, I put a blind eye to it. I was like, it's whatever. It's like a deep movie, and then I was like, oh no, this is cool. Like you can really stretch a character or stretch an actor.
And that's a good thing too. I mean, he did a good job of stretching it out. You weren't able to tell just without actually paying not paying attention. That's a bad way of putting it, but like really looking at it,
Oh no,
like
you gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention to it. You're right.
Yeah, but I mean, you were in that illusion, man. That's what I'm saying. Is like it sucks you in and it gets you into that illusion of like these are different people, and that's why that movie's so good. Is it can suck you into that reality so well. And you kind of put blinders on a little bit, that's why Clerks is so damn good and can span time is just because it brings, like I said, it just brings you into that reality, which is real life. Like there's nothing out of the ordinary necessarily of that day, except there's a lot. Well, you know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of crazy stuff. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in that day. But yeah,
you know the thing about with that ending in Clerks. I mean, we keep going all over. We're not even talking about Shallow Hal too much, but this
we'll get back to it.
We'll get back to it. But like I think if it would have had that original ending where Dante dies, I think that at that point it's a one and done kind of movie.
Yeah.
thing. But even like I think I heard an interview. Kevin Smith said, I would make Rando bring him back like as a zombie Dante, but but even at that, like that kind of ends it when he doesn't die. It opens the opportunities, and that's kind of one of those aspects of getting a getting a little bit of feedback where like movies like this, like I don't think you can remake this movie now, as in like I feel like the actor or actress would have or actors on set would have a awareness of this movie, and they wouldn't let it happen.
Yeah.
And I don't think, because this is a great movie, I think it's funny. Also with the wingman as Jason Alexander plays Mauricio, like if you had a friend and you're going out, I remember my background is definitely bar guy, a club guy. I grew up like that, so I was always out and about. But the like if you're to be like, hey, my boy Mauricio's gonna show up, man. You're like, oh yeah, he's a lady killer. You're like, oh cool, that's a Mauricio. And then you get Jason Alexander, and then I'd be like, okay, how does this work for him? How's he pulling these? How does he do this? Does he have a lot of money? Is he just really smart? What's going on?
He's got that puppy dog tail is what it is.
Dude. Also, it's his insecurity, right? That ultimately, like, he makes him, because this is one thing I loved about this movie, because at first, when I was younger, keep in mind, this is 2001, I was, like 17, so I'd already been going to bars in Mexico, so I'd already kind of seen, like, the nightlife-ish in my version of it. So when you see these two guys, the Hal and the Mauricio, that's not like, that doesn't exist, you don't have to be all like Rico Suave and handsome and all that to pick up in the game. It's just you have to learn it, and the fact that these two guys trying to get laid is funny, like watching like your friends trying to like hook up. I don't know. Not saying that I'm good at it. I'm sorry. I kind of, when I have the mindset of when I go out, I'm like, I'm just going out with the guys. I don't like, women and chicks are gonna mess us up. So I want to avoid as many as possible, because the guys definitely tend to. It's just weird. Like I was doing it. I forgot to talk about last week, and last week I did realize that our episode's shorter. So I didn't, we didn't plan for it. It was kind of a mess up, but I was like, nah, our show, the way you and I do this show, it needs to hit that 2-hour mark. We need to because we really need to kind of, you and I explore, we're in here hanging out. It's not like we have things.
We talk about Clerks and Black Widow.
Yeah, we talk about other things, right? So, but as I was thinking about it, on Stuck on You, that scene where you have what's his name, Greg Kinnear, his character, and Matt Damon's, he's always like, hey, go talk to her, and he forces him so he can slide in. Like that reminded me of when I was younger, and we used to go out, and there was those guys that would use me to like pick up chicks, and I never understood how they worked. But then I realized that there was just they would introduce me to girls, and I'd be like, dude, this girl's like way out of my league, and they'd be like, hope I don't offend anybody, but they'd be like, it's okay, you can crash and burn out with her, I'll take the friends. I'm like, oh, okay. But it was just weird. Like I didn't have that mindset of, like, my buddies were setting it up like a damn chessboard, or more like checkers. But I was like, oh, I'm one of these pieces on here. I didn't know that. But it's what I like about this. It shows that Hal's character, what he can see now after he goes through his change, and how his personality actually opens up. He gets a little bit more confident because he's got this hot girl she's with him, in his eyes, in his mind. That's the whole thing about this movie. Would you want to live in a world like that, where you saw the honest truth of people, and if someone is ugly, they're ugly, if someone's beautiful, they're beautiful, but everyone else sees the actual thing? Would you do that, or how does?
Hell yeah.
Because
first off, you're gonna get a great person, and then second off, you're gonna see them as their, like you said, their true selves. So you're gonna get a beautiful. I mean, I would totally do that.
I kind of see myself as I see people as individuals, and I know that sounds so corny, but I do. Like I talk to you in your eyes. I'm looking at you. I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to a group of people, which nowadays it's always like a group of people or by committee. So if I can actually have a conversation with somebody, and I can see how that person is not like the rest of everyone else, or just kind of their own version of it, I'm like, all right, cool. Like they stick out. But to be like an actual like ugly person to come out and like, not physically, but to be like ugly and mean to people, like it's like I don't know, man. Like I've never been like that. I've never been the type.
It's a double whammy. If you're ugly and mean, you got to be one or the other.
You got to be one or the other.
Well, you know.
Well, the thing about me with this movie, it gets me with how come he could only see certain people, like the guy in the wheelchair well, no, he's not wheelchair bound, but he's all strong. he sees him like that, but I guess that guy's pure at heart. That's who he generally
Wait,
is.
which one are you talking about?
The boss, the dude, or his friend, the guy with the guy that picks up always picks up chicks. So he takes the ugly nurse out, or she's ugly to us.
Oh,
Like,
Walt? No, it's
Walt.
because he already knew him.
So okay, that's where I was
So
kind of.
yeah. Well, that's my guess because he doesn't see Mauricio any different. He doesn't see, Jill any different.
Yeah.
And maybe they match their outside matches their inner self. I'm not too sure, but that would be my guess. Is that it would only affect people that he sees thus far because he already has that image of whoever he's met before.
Cool. I got you. So these are all new then.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least it seems that way.
Okay,
Like
I
his
picked up.
boss, he doesn't see the inner person of him because he's met his boss before, but he hadn't met his boss's wife.
Makes
So.
a big thing for me. Okay, that totally clears up a lot after 20 years of this movie being out. Totally clears it up for me. Thank you, Ben. And that's why we have this show. Because I honestly think
Yeah, this movie is 20 years old. Holy
I just realized that, right? Dang. Wow.
Oh, hopefully they don't bleep me.
Well, shit. I'm stuck on a repeat offender. Oh, here he is, Cabby. His name's Danny Murphy. That's why I was looking for. So that's the guy I was talking about. He's a repeat.
He was in Dumb and Dumber as well, wasn't he?
I believe
think
so.
he was.
I
Yeah.
think so. Oh,
Because that's what I remember.
unfortunately, he passed away in 2014 at the age of 58. So that sucks.
Well, hey, we have another repeat offender with the Farrelly brothers. It's Saeed Badrea. He was also in Iron Man, and You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Oh yeah. I know.
But he was in Stuck on You, Three Stooges, and Shallow Hal. And I think probably most of our chronic repeat offenders with the Farrelly brothers would be in all three. But I just think it's so cool that you can knock out so many repeat offenders with 3 movies. Like, bam.
Yeah, and then check this out with Danny Murphy. I mean, he passed away in 2014. He's got Dumb and Dumber 2 on here, Hall Pass. He started getting some more movies, but they're all, I guess, related. But see, Kingpin, There's Something About Mary, Me, Myself, and Irene, Say It Isn't So. God, that's a funny movie. It's a weird funny movie, but it's a funny movie. It's like, put your damn glasses on. He's in a movie called but I mean the thing was I not only is he a repeat offender, but one thing I liked is that he was definitely driving the cab.
Yeah.
And that was like, that's cool. I mean people can drive the cab as being wheelchair bound, but he doesn't show you. You don't see him in the wheelchair. Oh yeah, that's right. He is an Iron Man. Sadid Badria is he's a Saeed. He plays the bad guy. He's in Don't Mess with the Mother. So dude, that movie, I think that movie is hilarious. I watched Don't Mess with the Zohan, and I didn't think it was as funny as I thought it should be. Like it didn't have like the Adam Sandler funny thing to it, but I started watching it with my Adam Sandler eyes, and that movie got hilarious. That movie came out like way funnier to me, and now I really enjoy it. And I think that's what's gonna happen with Three Stooges as I watched it the second time around. But when we get there, we'll get there. The doctor, his name is Daniel Green. He is another Farley guy. He's also in Kingpin, Me, Myself, and Irene, and Hall Pass. But I thought he was a repeat offender. He's on Stuck on You, so he's a Mr. Church. He's repeat offender, but he's also in Green Book, and I did that with Rewatch right now. So he still has a role. So he's a repeat offender. The doctor that comes out in Shallow Hal. He's the main villain in Me, Myself, and Irene. His name is
Oh wait,
Daniel Green with an E at the end. And who was he in Me, Myself, and Irene? He was Dickie Thurman. Yeah, it's Dickie.
Okay. You're talking about the doctor from the very beginning.
Yeah.
My bad. And then also, not the Mater D. Yeah, maybe it was, or the second Tiffany. At the end, whenever he goes to the restaurant, and that's when in Shallow Hal, whenever he
yes.
And then he was the main bad guy in Dumb and Dumber.
And Kingpin. No. Charlie Rocket was the main bad guy in Dumb and Dumber because Charlie Rocket passed away.
What about Rob Morin? He was something in Dumb and Dumber. I remember his face.
He does. He is in
Maybe
Dumb and Dumber.
maybe I'm mixing it up with another movie.
No. You're very close. No, he is in Dumb and Dumber. He's a bartender.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I could have
You're right.
swore maybe it was Kingpin. No,
No, I think he's also. No, I think he's also in Kingpin.
I could have swore maybe I'm thinking of another movie where he was like the
No, he's the main guy. I think he's the main villain. Yeah, Kingpin. Stanley Osmansky. Yeah, he's the main bad guy.
he is that
Okay.
the one? Okay, all right, then
And-
that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and then his partner's a repeat offender too. I forgot his name, but he punches him in the nuts, like he misses.
Oh
But yeah,
man,
So
dude,
this guy,
and Zen Gessner is another. I don't think he's a repeat offender, but he's the guy who played Ralph, and I thought those were two different people. That you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think that was actually the same actor playing both Ralph and then Pretty Boy Ralph. You know,
isn't what movie are you talking about? From this one? Oh yeah,
Shallow
yeah.
Hal.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you know what? You're right.
That's the same actor,
Oh, beautiful.
right?
That's awesome.
I'm trying. Maybe I may be, but it just says Ralph on there. Like it doesn't. I don't see anybody else that plays.
Sorry, my mind went stuck on you, and I thought Rocket instead of Ralph. I thought I was like, Rocket's not in this one. But that's where my mind went. I still like that the Mauricio and Hal have like standards, and they're the way they are. You know, like not to say that they're. I'm not trying to pick on their looks. What I'm trying to say is like what they want and what they're aspiring for is like that's what they're looking for, like to be guys like that. But it's like it can be anybody. It doesn't. You don't need to be, you know, it's because the Jill character comes around. And when she comes around, it's kind of like, why does she come around? Because she sees the humanity inside Hal. She sees the oh wow, he used to be up my butt, now he's up this chick's butt, and what does she have that I don't have? You know, it's like, you know, but he sees the other version, and the thing I got to give Gwyneth Paltrow her chops on this. I like you said earlier, I don't know if it's one of those movies where she had to do her, but she has this in this movie an innocence to her that I cannot pick, only that if you've seen it before, like you've seen somebody inside, like they're vulnerable and they don't want to open up and they're scared, they don't want to get hurt, and then you see you see it in her where she has like a vulnerability. Like it's not this like what I'm trying to say is she can't hide behind her looks, so you're seeing the actual like purity of the character and the niceness of it. You know, I get what I'm trying to say, because it's like if you have a Gwyneth Paltrow type of person that is looks and to everyone that's Gwyneth Paltrow, but she's not this chick in the rubber suit, you know, this bigger character, then it makes it seem like that she can hide behind it. But the one I'm trying to say is like she can't hide behind this. Like Brendan Fraser and Doom Patrol, he's got to do all his acting. You can't see his face. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got to see all his acting. And here with Gwyneth Paltrow, you can see it's not. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like it adds up well. Like she is like not a small person. She's actually a big person. But she plays it. She plays it so well. You know?
Yeah. Well, you're saying whenever she's her skinnier self, she plays it well.
Yeah. Like,
because Well, and she just has that. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's Gwyneth Paltrow. Like you're looking at her, but she's the other character. She's what is it? Rosemary. Her name is.
Yeah, Rosemary.
Yeah, Rosemary. Oh, another thing. She's top bill in this movie. So I think you might be right. It says Gwyneth Paltrow, then it says Jack Black. Oh, no.
Because she had already done Shakespeare in Love, like.
Yeah. Well, we'll get this. Let's go here. You're absolutely right. Look what I found. Check this out. Jack Black's 20th film role, but his first as lead actor. So I remember, like I think we've talked about him before. Like he was in Demolition Man.
Mm-hmm.
He was
in Neverending Story.
Neverending Story. He was also in Waterworld.
Yeah.
And he was also in the movie called Airborne. Did you ever see Airborne?
No.
That's where I really like Jack Black. He's like a high school kid. He's probably like 20 or 21 years old in the movie. Mm-hmm. And he plays he plays that character that's the sidekick to the bully, the henchman, but then the bully, but then he realizes the bully's wrong, so he kind of goes the other way. He plays that character. But man, it's so Jack Black, man. Like I think I love about Jack Black is he not only is that he proved to us he's a musician, but like he's also like he's very talented. But the thing is with Jack Black is J Bones, he's himself, you know. He's and that when I read something like that, he did 20 movies before he got a lead role. Like that means that he had been on set, he'd been practicing, he'd been working at this, and it shows. Like I think he holds this. I don't know if this role was written for him or if he just filled into the slot, but this is like a great role for Jack Black, and the way he portrays it. His acting is pretty on par. It's on point here.
What's crazy, man, is he almost looks like a different person by the end of the film.
Well, check this out. Ironically, Jack Black had to lose weight for his role of Hal.
Yeah, I believe it, man. Like he, I don't know, from the first bit of it, like he looks different. Like he just looks. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know how to explain it.
He builds he builds confidence.
Yeah,
and this whole time, it's like even like at the end when he finds.
Well, it's almost like Tony Robbins puts an illusion on you. Like Jack Black looks goofy, and then he looks not goofy by the end because you see the end of Jack Black and how awesome he is. You know,
that's so true. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah. He definitely like. That's
even in the poster, man, he looks goofy. He looks like a goofball.
Yes.
Like, and that, I mean, obviously that's the way he's supposed to look, you know, because he's like, man, look at this hot chick next to me, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's cool too, that it's like, he really was looking for love. He was just going about it the wrong way, you know?
Well, look at this way. Like, would you just notice? Look at the confidence that Gwyneth Paltrow has in that photo. Like her butt's sticking out, her boobs are popping, she's blonde hair, beautiful, taller than him. That's that's Gwyneth Paltrow, right? And then you look in the background, you see the shadows, and you see how they really are. But in the movie, that's what I'm saying. Like, look at Gwyneth Paltrow. She does in the movie poster. Look how attractive she looks there. When she's in the role, she doesn't hide. She hides all that. She's
not smiley or anything like that.
I love that.
Yeah, and she only smiles whenever he makes her laugh, you know, and stuff like that. Once they get to know each other, then she's smiling. Once she realizes it's not, you know, it's not a game, then she's smiling. You know, once she gains that confidence that he kind of gives her, that's when she really, like you said, that's when she really comes out, and he gets to see just how beautiful she is. Because I'm telling you, man, there's nothing more beautiful than a happy woman.
Okay, brownie points.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, like and it's not even just women. Like anybody that's happy is, I would say, probably typically gonna look better, feel better.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. The child thing, when you see the baby show up, you're like, oh, nothing exists. It's like weird.
Yeah.
I can see how some people are like, my kid's the cutest. And you're like,
yeah, and you're like, maybe.
What I'm also, since the social media, what gets me, and I see a lot of people post pictures of their children, people I grew up with, but no pictures of them. So what I'm thinking is either one, they're like, this is how I used to look, or two, this is the second coming of me, but before I went to hell. And I'm just being rude, sorry to everybody, but it's just kind of things I notice. Or, I mean, I post a lot of pictures. I just don't like posting pictures of my kid too much. But like even like this, like Gwyneth Paltrow employed a body double for her nude scenes. So she went out and got someone to. Is that what that means? That she employed? That she went out and be like, "You're gonna be my body."
Yeah, probably.
Okay, probably that's a high chance. Even the actor John Farrelly that plays the dad.
Yeah, he's not Irish.
You know,
he's from New York, and I totally believed he was Irish. I thought he was Irish.
You know, I totally believed he was still alive, or at least more alive. He died in 2004. Wow, he's been dead for 16 years, or 17 now. But man, his birthday is March 10th. It was almost around my mom's birthday. But yeah, he what do you call it? He does a great role. Yeah, you're right. He does a great role. He was also in Analyze This and That, right? Yeah, he's in both those. Oh, Analyze This was 1999. That's he was I thought he was gonna be part of the like Scorsese crew or something. You know, like but he's always plays like an Italian guy or like a mobster.
Yeah.
Bruce McGill, the dad, that advice you would get on the deathbed from your father. Like I kind of wanted to touch on it, but I don't. I feel like, I mean, it's all up to you. But I know that's kind of close to your story.
Well, I mean, he was all jacked up on Mountain Dew, man. Like he was high as a kite. You're gonna say, I mean, honestly, I feel like you would say what you honestly felt. And Shannon, not Shannon Elizabeth.
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon is his mom. That's just, I thought whenever I saw her, I was like, I don't remember her being in the rest of this movie.
Cameo.
And then she wasn't. And yeah, I thought it was funny. Like his dad was a reverend, and those were his last words. You know, like I think
Yeah.
that was
No. And go for it. What do you think?
well, and maybe if he was a successful reverend, maybe he did. Maybe that is what he looked at. And maybe that is how he felt, because a lot of guys that get into power like that, man, they can exploit it sometimes. So maybe he had like a secret life or something like that.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I'm just saying, I wouldn't. I
Oh,
know
I'm
you like,
just
I know you like to dip into
that's what I
that.
was thinking just as I was talking about. I was like, oh, that would kind of make sense.
I see it as a pastor or a preacher that was actually a faithful man to his wife, and on his deathbed, he was like, why was I faithful? He's like, I just wanted to set a
Oh,
candle.
I don't. Hell, I think
I,
that's a little bit darker than what I was
well, I mean,
saying.
I think it's a reality there. I think that his dad was. No, I'm saying like you're saying he had an altered life, but I can't pick up from that from what we're seeing. But what
Yeah,
I'm saying this man on his deathbed, like it kind of makes sense in a way, but for a 9-year-old to kind of take in all that, it's a lot. But
yeah.
as I'm watching it, I'm like, this dude is basically on his deathbed. He's on his way out, and you're trying. I mean, granted, he's also dated, but
Molly Shannon should have been in there and been like, "Oh no, we need to get you away from this." Like it
well,
shouldn't
I
have just
mean,
been him.
she was the one. I mean, well, she was the one that said the doctor said no, and she said yes. You're not going to let my son not see him. So she wanted him to have his alone time with him. And I mean, it's up to them. It's their time. That's what I was saying with you.
That's true.
I thought maybe you had your alone time or something like that
Oh no.
because it just kind of seems like he was giving them some advice. So the advice to me doesn't sound like, oh, we should be giving this advice to a child, but at the same time, it's his father's dying, and if that's his father's last words, like he wants to pass on to his son, like maybe that's something. I mean, I don't think it's something to tell your kid not to settle. I honestly though I would not like let my kid settle. I don't settle. Like if I settle, it's temporary, if anything. But I don't think that when he tells his son don't settle, I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
I think that's great advice, and it's also it gets to the point where his father is it's like he was a preacher. Let's say he was just a regular preacher. He was a man that goes to a reverend, sorry, or whatever. He goes to church. He does his thing. He lives by the law like of church, and maybe that wasn't what he wanted his son to do. It's also so I'm going from that angle. I'm not going from like, oh yeah, you need to do all this stuff because while you have time. No, I'm going by like the angle of like, well, I live my life like this, and he's probably like, I don't want you to live your life like this. Kind of goes the same way. Like if you're a mobster, and you don't want your
Yeah.
kid to be a mobster, then you would tell them like, don't get in the mob. Opposed to if you're a mobster and you like it and you want your kid to join, then it'd be more hands on it, like getting them in there. But I think I honestly think that was kind of I'm getting it from that's what I gathered that his dad and because it makes sense for the movie why shallow so how or how so shallow. I think it makes sense for the movie why that's where he got his upbringing and why Jack Black is playing what might be a 30-year-old still in the scene.
Yeah.
The scene doesn't change. The scene never gets old. You get old. So definitely sees like this whole like I mean because even now like the whole thing I've been following on YouTube is men not settling down, and it's showing why they're not, and it actually shows a lot of like gold digging, like a lot of women that are gold diggers, and it's not even to say that you're rich. They just say that if like there's a lot of communities that if I had nothing and you took half of that, then you would take half of my nothing. Like yeah, like So I think I'm not trying to pick on women, but I think that's where a lot of like chivalry and romance, and it's all different now. I think it still exists. I think a lot of stuff's still out there, but the way they should like shove it down their throats with you got to go get married and all that stuff. I don't think it's as much as it used to when we were growing up. So when this movie came around, being in high school and seeing that, like seeing a guy kind of just going through the progressions of starting a relationship with someone that necessarily doesn't fit his standards, but something happened that opened him up to that person fitting that slot. And it's helping him out at work too,
Yeah.
like he's building that confidence. He's getting and then there's also that thin line that he's doing this for himself, the boss's daughter,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
Well,
all
I feel like everybody kind of is like, what are you doing, man?
yeah. It's because he's not exactly out of shape, but he's not exactly in shape. It's Jack Black, but I think it's hard for me to. He's got a personality, and Jack Black's personality comes out in this, even in such a young role. does a great job.
Oh
The
man, what was it right after this was Saving Silverman? They're probably like, you
yes,
know, oh man, and then he gets gay with R. Lee Emery. That's great.
my
I really enjoyed that movie.
some of my buddies that were in the Marines, they got to see Arlie Emery, and they were like, he's going out there to do because he was an actual Marine, he's an instructor, and he was out there talking to the troops, and he goes, any questions about me? And he goes, and if you want to know, and everybody raised their hands. He goes, if you want to know about me making out with Jack Black, put your damn hands down, and they all would put their hands down, like they would fuck with him.
It was one of those movie moments where
Yeah, like he was already aware of it. Like you want to talk about Jack Black, me kissing Jack Black, shut the hell up, or like, it wasn't as good as it was, or I forget what he would say, but that cracked me up. Like imagine like you did a movie scene, it's out there, but you did it once, but whatever, it's a movie.
dude, yeah, but he could kiss Jack Black a million times, but Full Metal Jacket, for the love of God, is you can't get that memory stamped out as many times as I see Saving Silverman. Can't stamp it out.
Terrifying.
Yeah. My dad said that was the closest thing to his remembrance of boot camp.
And that's why he got hired to train the I mean, everybody knows. I mean, a lot of people know this. He got hired to train the drill instructor. The producers and the directors were like, "Why the hell don't we just use this guy? He's way better than the guy that we hired as actor." So they actually paid the actor, and then said, "All right, later, dude. Sorry," and they put him in, and his career started. Yep. So I feel like something like that, like those roles.
Second career started.
Oh yes. Well, his acting career.
Yeah,
his acting career, and the roles like that where they kind of they're there, and an actor or personality or someone comes and takes it and rolls with it. Like I don't know if that actor before was going to be like him, like it was going to be the next the drill instructor or the next, but the fact that he held on to that role, that he came in and made it his own. I don't know if he made it his own. He just was comfortable in it.
He'd already been doing it, man. He had so much practice. I mean,
yeah,
he was literally, like you said, he wanted that authenticity, and then by using him, he got it. Like he was trying to be. Yeah, that's kind of what I picked up from him.
Yeah, dude, check this out now, because I do love I love me some chase not chasing freaking Saving Silverman, but for Arlie Emery, like he's a coach in this movie, and that's just funny, dude. When he says they're on us, who's on us, and he turns around, it's the old ladies. All right, I'm gonna try. He dives out the van and he gets all messed up. Like that's funny. So this movie Saving Silverman, is, believe it or not, I think it came out before Shallow
Really?
Hal. It's in 2001. Yeah, I was like, you're right.
Well, Shallow Hal's 2001, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're right next to each other. On IMDb, it just comes out first.
I thought it came. I think it came. I thought it came out like during the.
I thought
fall.
I mean, whenever it came out before, like same year, 2001. And to me, I was like, when you said that, I was like, yeah, Silverman was like 2003, 2004. No, it's 2001, and it's in the same year. And I think Jack Black looks completely different.
Yeah.
And then how he goes,
he's a lot bigger, I think.
How's it go? Hey, dude, if it's has JD, if the cheese sticks to all the nachos, it's one nacho.
Yeah. Oh wow, it was February 2001. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And then Shallow Hal had to have been during the summer. Like that's a summer movie.
Let's find out real quick. We have it right here. But like even Saving Silverman, the scene where Jack Black where they're kicking
November 9th. Boy, I was wrong on both of those. So Saving Silverman did come out first. Wow. So he must have done Saving Silverman and then lost weight and then got this role.
Yeah, so this one came out second then. Yeah, it's crazy because he has a long hair too. That makes sense. He cut his hair for this role. And
maybe he had a wig on.
Not too, but I like that when they kick him out and him and Steve Zahn are outside the house and he goes, "Nobody here." Like,
I do that.
I do that a lot, dude. Coming out here. Like that's the thing about Jack Black, the character, the emphasis, the laughing, the energy. I mean, I follow him now and I love him now on social media. He cracks me up. He did a whole Avengers. He plays all the Avengers. I think Thor's is like the one he looks the funniest in, but I like his portrayal of Hulk.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Oh man,
but this movie.
Jack Black.
I mean, yeah, JB, man. I'm glad he hears this.
And I really enjoyed him in the new Jumanjis.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
He did. He had to. Did you see the first one? Where
I saw the first one. Yes, yes. I
yeah,
haven't seen the
where
second
he's
one.
like a teenage girl. He does a great job.
And that's what I was talking to another filmmaker about that. We just brought up Jumanji, and
Mhm.
I was like, one thing I go, I love Jack Black's performance, and she goes, oh yeah, he steals the show. I go, absolutely. My favorite thing is he doesn't come off as a gay dude. He comes off as a girl. He plays a girl, and I think that's so hilarious. I haven't seen the second one. I know they get swapped around, but
Yeah, I think it's one of the guys is Jack Black now.
yeah, so it's something like that. Remember,
Yeah.
spoilers, everybody. I don't know what's going on, but I do know the first one he stole the show, and I know I've brought it up maybe a few times on this show. I know I brought it up on rewatch right now, but it's like where when I went to watch that movie, I was like in between something where I had like a 4 hour gap where I didn't have to be back to where I need to go. So I was like, all right, I think I was in San Antonio as well. Oh no, I was here in Austin, and I was driving around. Like, well, let's go to the movies. I could watch a movie in 4 hours, and all the movies that were available was just the Jungle, the Jumanji. And I was like, yeah, sure. What? And one thing I noticed, they go, well, we only have like 2 seats left. And I was like, what? There's only 2 seats left? And I think this was opening weekend. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, whatever. I'll take that seat. And it's like, it's at the far front to the right. So like you're gonna end up with that creek. But I didn't end up with a neck creek because was at the Regal, and you could like flatten the chair all the way down, so you could like basically lay down and watch the movie. And I watched it, and I just remember like laughing so hard. But I remember walking out that movie being like, Jack Black stole the damn show in this movie. He's the funniest thing. Like, I get The Rock, I get the Kevin Hart. I mean, we got a Karen Gilliam in there too as well. You got Nebula. I was about to say good morning. You have Nebula.
Oh man, did you watch What If by chance?
No, not yet.
The second episode is great. By the way, the third episode came out today. But Nebula has hair. Spoiler.
Is that what they're doing now? They're releasing these what ifs on Fridays. Is that their new thing?
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. Okay.
Yeah.
So now
My Saturday, but yeah, Wednesday.
You're Saturday. Hey man, I'm on the 24-hour clock, man. I lose days. I went for you texting me like, hey, we're meeting right now. But oh yeah, it's like
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like, what was it the other day? Man, sleep has just been evading me for some reason. I figured it out. It's because I work at 4 a.m. and I don't go to bed until like 10, and I'm like, oh, that's enough. Then it finally catches up with me, and I'm just like, oh my god.
yeah.
I crashed, dude. But yeah.
Well, that's why the other day last week when I got stung in the neck by a Yellow Jacket, I wasn't going to bed because I didn't want to go to sleep and then wake up with a freaking knot in my throat or something. I was like, I'll just kind of stay up a little bit. So 2 nights I got 2 hours of sleep. I fell asleep for 2 hours and I woke up and then just drifted off through the rest of the night. But I realized, yeah, that rest, like even like last night when I texted you, I was like, man, I can't finish this movie right now. I gotta finish it in the morning because I'd rather go to bed by 9:30 or 9 o'clock, and what do you call it? I'd rather do that and wake up super early opposed to like try to grind it out, pass out, and then wake up exhausted and do the show.
Yeah.
I get it done. I mean, there's so many ways we're getting it done. I already got it done, but the fact,
I'm telling you, man, I've been falling asleep through movies lately so bad. Dude. Like I'll just start nodding off, and I'll wake up, and I'm like, oh man, stay awake. Like it's one of those things. And it's just like it happens. I'm not even trying to do it. It just kind of happens.
Dude, I totally said this the other day. I was having a conversation, and I said that sometimes we watch so many movies and fall asleep. Like, who do you watch movies? Oh, my coworker. I called you coworker. And at this point, I was like, you damn it. He's like, not only he is my coworker. Yeah, this is our thing, and it's like a schedule and everything. And I remember saying like, oh, my coworker and I. Where do you work at? I go, well, no, we have a show. I don't know why. I guess co-host is what I meant to say. I said coworker, but they were like, oh, your coworker. I was like, yeah, we work together. It's a joint thing. But I'm at the seat here with where they go to the gas station and you get to see the ugly girl like she's smoking inside the car with the windows up. Like that's. Ooh. But one thing I like the playfulness is when Jack Black is walking, Hal's walking, they're walking in, and then I forgot his name. What's his boss's name? Marty.
Mr. Shanahan.
Mr. Shanahan.
Steve.
Yeah, that he pulls his leg. Did you see that? Like he's messing with him because he puts those gloves on. He goes, "Why are you putting gloves on?" He goes, "You walked on your hands in a."
Walt. That's Walt. My bad.
Walt. Yeah, he tells you ever walked on your hands at a convenience store, and he goes, "No." But then as they're walking out, he trips Hal. He grabs his ankle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I was always like, that's always funny. Like when your friends like they have these little moments of like you could get you, they get you. I had a hole friend one time was like, "Can you go with me to Houston? Go pick up some paperwork. We'll go and come back." And I was like, "Sure." It's like a friend I grew up with. I didn't know that he put on the heater in his car on my seat, and I was sweating. I was like, "Dude, what the hell's going on?" And he like for like 20 minutes, I was just burning up. I was like, "Dude, like your car sucks, man." And he starts laughing. I go, "What?" And because the heater thing's on his side, so he turned it on without me knowing. And I was like, "You jerk."
That's pretty good.
That's a good.
That's a good prank. You
That's
know,
a
you
that's a
didn't
good
get
one.
hurt. You just kind of were you like, can you turn the AC up? And he's like, yeah, sure.
No, I felt my ass getting hot, and I was like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Is there like Ben Gay on this?" And then I
Oh,
caught on because I know he does stuff like this.
I
I
would
know
have
that.
I would have thought there was something wrong with me. I was like, dude, my ass is getting hot. I don't know
Nah,
what's going on.
when you're in a car with somebody that you know likes to do shit like that, you should be aware. You get, oh man, I didn't even realize how small Jack Black or Hal looks compared to when they're at the bar and he runs into the ex. They run into Rosemary's ex, the guy,
Mhm.
and it shows all four of them right next to
But
each
it's
other.
so tall, dude.
They're so tall. That's like me at Comic Con when I go take pictures. They're all tall. I'm all short. like they're all yeah. When you go to convention, that's I was like one thing I noticed. I was like, why am I so much? These guys are freaking giants. Um, but yeah, I think a lot of this movie that is we're as we're just kind of unraveling. It's I honestly I want to say this is an awesome comedy. Just
Yeah.
put your hair down, watch some laughs, get some. I mean, the Farley brothers really do put in other characters that I would totally have never thought to think of. And this movie shows it, and this shows like two versions of those characters. I mean, yeah, if I got to see you, if I had glasses that could show me that how you really were. I mean, I'm pretty good character judgment, but I have to judge. I don't want to do that. But if you had some glasses to show you, I don't know. I'd probably be that guy to get bored of avoiding. I just start talking to you, be like, why are you like this? Like like what's going on? I gotta make sure it don't happen to me or something. But here we go. Look at this. She did Gwyneth did a Tyra Banks. After getting into her makeup for the first time, Gwyneth Paltrow spent the rest of her day walking around in public. Now, this is actually a two-part statement because the first part was too long. I mean, the whole thing's too long, but where's it at here? I have it here. The other part. Walking around in public, no one recognized her, and she used people's reactions to her as an obese woman to help her understand her character in film,
Hmm.
which is still why a lot of comedians wrote down on Tyra Banks
Yeah.
because she was talking about doing a fat suit, but they're like, yeah, but you could just easily take it off. But I think for her to actually, I mean, those are beautiful women. I think for them to, I don't know, to get that feeling, or I don't know, it's kind of weird to walk around in a suit and see the way people look at you, and for you to have a reaction to it. Like I'm too high aware that I know I'm in a suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But maybe that's that vulnerability she needed to be that character, play this character. Maybe she had to kind of, because I think she does a great job. I think Gwyneth Paltrow as Rosemary does a great, and I feel like she doesn't really steal the show. She's not in here a whole lot. She's in here just enough, but the little things she does are subtle and that are nice. Like even this, like I thought this was pretty cool. This little scene, the chocolate milkshake that Gwyneth Paltrow chugs in the dating montage was CGI.
Hmm. I'd hope so. That'd be impressive if she could do that.
I was just thinking, I thought it was a practical effect. I thought
Hmm.
it was the other way where you make the hole in the cup, but you'd reverse so it looks like it's going down instead of up. Or
Hmm.
no, I think you just put the hole in the cup and then yeah. But honestly, is this your first time getting introduced to Tony Robbins?
What's that?
Was this your first time getting introduced to Tony Robbins, or do you know Tony Robbins?
I don't think so. I knew of him whenever I saw the movie because there was some recognition there, even at that age, but not a whole lot. I think he had like some specials on ABC and NBC and stuff like that. And my parents would always just like put on the news stations and just kind of let them run. You know what I'm saying? Like after Grey's Anatomy or what have you came on, all the sitcoms came on, all the dramas, then you'd have the news on Fridays and Saturdays, and we'd always watch that. So I'm pretty sure I'd seen him on that, something of that sort.
I think I remember he had like those infomercials, like to why you
That
needed the power strong and all that.
that's probably another place that I'd seen him at. But yeah, I did have some idea. What about you?
Yeah, so I didn't know that was I didn't really know if I knew of him because of the infomercials, but the thing that stuck out to me was he was so big.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I was like, damn, that's massive. He calls them banana hands and all
Mhm.
this stuff. Like I knew of Tony Robbins like just like you did, like introduce him. I didn't know too much. After this movie, I got to know him a little bit more. But in my mid-20s is when I got to know him very well. That's when I started listening to the motivational speeches and listening to things that help me out. And he's a really good speaker. His story is also pretty inspiring. I mean, he's a big ass dude. He's like 6'8", 6'9". He's a motivational. So somebody that big is like, do it. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Get up. But he does a great job. He uses a lot of life scenarios in his I don't want to call it lecturing or preaching, but in his stories, that he uses a lot of life, so you can kind of feel with him. You can kind of you kind of relate to him, where he's just not just telling you just do it. Why does Nike say do it? Because the Nike logo I think is awesome. It's just do it, but I'm starting to understand that when they say just do it, they mean the kids that are questioning them. Why am I making these shoes in the third world country? Like just do it, just do it. But here's some plot holes to this movie before we move on. Plot hole reviews. Rosemary never learns that Hal was hypnotized.
Oh yeah, interesting. I guess that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. What did you think about all those effects where they had Jack Black carry Gwyneth Paltrow, where they're in the boat, where they're they like all of those little slapstick.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That kind of reminded me of Stuck on You, because they kind of have that. It's not like a little montage. It's just like throughout. You get those little clips, like whenever they're boxing and go and beat up on somebody, or they're doing what have you. I enjoyed that in movies, man. Like I think that's in movies like this, like the comedies and stuff like that. The especially a romantic comedy. That's what essentially this is. I think you have those little montages, and I think that's great. I think it's it's kind of funny too, because like this is made in 2001, and it doesn't come across as corny or cheesy or anything like that whenever you see it.
Yeah, and I think all the angles that they cover in this movie is amazing.
Yeah,
you're right. This is age. I think the movie's aged well.
Yeah,
I think for the most part,
I think it aged so well. Like, okay, so in our first episode, we did The Nutty Professor and Norbit.
Yes.
All right, so that was also, those were two movies where you had somebody in a fat suit, what have you. So what's kind of funny is Eddie Murphy in a fat suit in Nutty Professor, fine, all right, we're good. And it seemed, Eddie Murphy in a fat suit as Rasputia was not so fine. And I think Shallow Hal in the middle of that kind of made it not so fine anymore, or not even that, but just like probably a little bit more awareness of everybody. But I think movies like this kind of show you, it's not what's on the inside. Or excuse me, it's not what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside.
We see where you're at.
A little Freudian slip there, right? No, it's to where movies like Norbit can seem a little bit more mean-spirited,
because there's no real point. Rasputia is just a character in this, and she doesn't change and she stays the same. Where here with Rosemary, there's a difference to it.
Yes, no, they're totally different characters, but I'm just saying. I think I was actually thinking about that earlier. I was like, interesting. And the Farrelly brothers go there too. Like they do Stuck on You. They talk about stuff that people don't normally want to talk about. It's like their movies are, kind of. It's like whenever you go to a comedy club and somebody can talk about something that's controversial. Yeah, and they can get away with it. Not get away with it, but they have it. I get what you're saying. They explain it in such a good way that it gets across to a mass audience.
Well, also because it's raw at that point where it's coming out. They're not at the comedy club or wherever. Like, there's no one recording. There's no one really like recording the session or whatever, and the comedian could just like there's room for mistake. There's room for error. There's room for growth. Where if you're watching it on TV, it should be polished. It should be up to date. It shouldn't be raw, Yeah.
But I feel like the Farrelly brothers do have, it's a polished raw. I don't know, man. It's like it's a in between.
Well, I think what we're learning. I like that you brought up the Norbit thing, because what we're learning is with the Farrelly brothers, they can go anywhere. They really can. They've got a rap sheet that's amazing. There it was, if you like myself, if you don't pay attention, you can get confused with Coen movies. But even them,
Yeah.
they're all over the place. So I think
Oh,
not only do we have two sets of brothers, we have two sets of brothers that can really they stick out in their field and filmmaking.
and they both made bowling movies, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, it does too. Yeah, it's very confusing on that part. But I want to say with the fat suit, with Respucia, it's I don't know. I don't think, because it's just a movie, Norbit. Like, to me, it's just a movie as when you're watching it. Like, okay, that's a character. But with Shallow Hal, I feel like there's a point, there's a story behind it. Like you could really look into the like, put it this way, when I was talking about shut your brain off to watch Norbit, yeah, I want to shut my brain off to watch that. Shallow Hal, I want to shut my brain off too, but I could also watch this and also learn from it. And I like the Jill character. I like the fact that how they show her, but she's no longer getting attention, so now she starts coming back around. And there's a lot of there's a lot more depth to this movie than I would hope that people not just see the cover and be like, oh, look at that, that's me, or that used to be me, now look at me. You could go reverse. You could go from the big shadow to the skinny to the color one or whatever. But I don't see it. I don't see it a lot like that. I just, it's a movie for the most part. If I can learn from it, I don't want it to like if it's supposed to be offensive, and I don't feel like this movie's offensive. That's the thing what makes it such a good movie. It's not trying to make fun of it. There's actually showing the inner beauty of a lot of different things. I mean, Walt is like a great example of being different and being successful.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there was a real opportunity for this movie not to age well, but it does.
oh, that's true. That's true. But let's move on to the Three Stooges. We're moving on to the Stooges because we're running low on the time now.
Yeah.
So this movie, as as Ben and I were talking,
The Two Stooges.
the Two Stooges, the Stooges. I'll tell you this. I as soon as I started watching the movie, I was like, wait a minute, this looks all too familiar. I have seen this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I didn't see it. I even paid to watch it. When I saw it at the theater, I just couldn't remember it. It did not stick out to me whatsoever. A lot of the scenes did as soon as I started watching it again, but for the most part, this is a modern day telling of the Three Stooges.
Yeah, dude. They did a great job on this movie. First off, it's a fun movie. It can be a kid's movie to where you have the noises and the bonks on the head and stuff like that. But it's dealing with some adult material as far as what they're saying, and then you're also going on Jersey Shore, stuff like that.
I forgot about that. I thought that was funny. And he, like, Mo would be perfect for Jersey Shore because there's a bunch of stooges.
Yeah,
like,
and it was almost like the executives on Jersey Shore is like, all right, how are we going to get these people to quit making this show? It's like, let's put Mo in there. All right, and they're like, oh wait, we can make a show about these people. No, I started it over. I had just started it, and it starts off with the kids singing and everything, and then you have Larry David. Oh my God, as what, Mary Magdalene or something like that? I think that's what they call her, Sister Mary. Magdalene.
Wait, there's Larry David plays a character.
You didn't know that was Larry David, bro?
Oh my God, I did not even know that.
Yeah,
he's the nun, right? Isn't he?
Yeah.
Sister Mary. Oh my God, that is Larry David. See. Pulling a fast one on me already,
dude. I'm telling you, man. Like, it's yeah. No, he does a great job in this movie. He says, "Shut up." What do you think this is? The Sound of Music.
so he's the one that gets his ass kicked the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's another layer to this movie that just got so. So what's your background on Three Stooges? Did you watch them as a kid? Did you get introduced to them?
No, I got introduced to him on the late night infomercials where by the Three Stooges, Larry, Moe, and Carly.
Oh, so you would just watch the promos, but you want to watch the
promos. I didn't actually see the episodes. No,
dude, I grew up watching them. Like the first time I saw this, I guess it was just I wasn't in the mood. I don't know what happened. That's just a movie. But now as I'm going back on this and seeing like Jane Lynch is in it, seeing a lot of the characters they have, Sophia Varain. There's those characters alone. I was like, okay, Jennifer Hudson.
Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that over 25 years she didn't age one bit.
That's true. That's true. And then there's certain things like that. And then as I'm watching this movie, I was like, you know what? I gotta watch this like a Three Stooges movie, not like a regular movie. Watch it like you're watching the Stooges, because I remember watching the Stooges. I grew up watching the Stooges. I remember watching all these guys, and I gotta say, for the three main characters, the Mo character, I didn't know who he was playing Mo. I knew who Will Sasso is and Sean Hayes, but
Yeah.
Chris Diamantopoulos, I didn't know that he was the Mo. He plays a great Mo. The audio sounds like him. The movement sounds like him. The only I think even Will Sasso as Curly
Yeah.
does a great job. The Larry Sean Hayes is a great actor. I'm not saying, but to play the character Larry, that would be the hardest one to portray.
How do you think he does?
I think he does a good job compared to the other Larry. Compared to this movie as Larry, he does. I mean, obviously, phenomenal job. But if you compare it to the original Larry, like it's really hard. Larry is hard. Like I want to say, he's the hardest one. And there was a fourth Stooge. Do you remember Shemp? Did you ever come across Shemp?
Nope.
So he was one of the original Three Stooges, and they came around and got Curly involved, and they put Curly in instead of Shemp. And Curly has more of the. He's one of the first actors that had more of that slapstick, that more like
Yeah.
like a wise guy. He brought a lot of that. So when they brought Curly in, they kind of put Shemp to the side, which I think later on they ended up bringing them together. But when they had Shemp, what do you call it? He wasn't as funny as Curly, but Curly came in with the slapstick. He was like definitely Chris Farley-ish. He had
Yeah.
that feel, and I think Will Sasso kind of gets it. I think Curly's original. Curly's more genuine. It's kind of hard for Sasso because Curly was just being himself, like trying to figure it out as a character, where Will Sasso is actually having to replicate it. So I think for Will Sasso doing Curly, it does a great job. As these three
Yeah.
playing the Three Stooges, they do a great job. If you're comparing it to the Three Stooges, if you're just watching this being like these guys being these aren't Stooges, like whatever. But you gotta, if you see the way the old shows were, the way they did it, this movie has it down. It's emphasized on it. Like I want to say even the young Curly in the beginning of the movie that really looks like Curly from the show.
Dude, whenever we look at trivia, I want to know if any of the original Stooges, if their family members or anything like that, are in this movie. I want to like for some reason, whenever they go to the hospital, and that nurse is like, no, like just the way she was acting, I was like, I feel like she was probably one of the Stooges' offspring or something.
Oh, I get you. Maybe, yeah. I can see that.
I feel like the Farley brothers would definitely do that.
It'd be kind of hard though, because here, check this out. Let me get to those trivia. Oh, here we go. The orphanage is shown to be founded in 1934, the same year the Three Stooges began their series of shorts for Columbia Pictures, which continued until 1958. So they'd be really old.
Oh, I mean, even granddaughter or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm like, like just anybody from the
Yeah, like, oh, this is the granddaughter of
Oh yeah,
Curly.
let me find out. Let me go through it. I did find this real quick. This was something I found out. Jim Carrey was originally cast as Curly, but didn't want to wear a fat suit and decided he was too old to gain the necessary weight without risking his health.
Wow.
Do you remember the original three? I think it was like Benicio del Toro, and it was supposed to be Jim Carrey. Like it was like, and then maybe Sean Penn. I think that's who they had.
Oh no, that would have. I mean, I don't know about that.
Like they
Jim
had
Carrey, maybe, but I feel like he would be a better Mo. He's already done the Lloyd Christmas haircut. He could pull that off. But I mean, from the looks of the characters, like, because whenever I pulled it up on YouTube, like they had Three Stooges after videos after that, right? And so just looking at the comparison from those to the Three Stooges they had, I was like, they did a great job. I really enjoyed whenever they were the 10-year-old kids. I thought they were good actors. I enjoyed watching them. Larry probably made me laugh the most, just because like he was in it, man. He was playing it.
I'm telling you, man, because
Even as he's taking chemo, right?
Yeah, all the jokes they hit him with. He's like, oh, I have a lot of product in my hair. I think the fact that with the three characters, you have the high anxiety character of Curly, which brings up the highs of that slapstick. Then you got this hold you to the ground, serious hard hitter Mo, and then you have the Larry character that goes all the way from that part all the way. So they cover it as a trio of the like stage and comedy, and I think Larry is the hardest one to play.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that those jokes that they put in here are more Larry jokes that only Larry affect because of the hair, or where he's kind of like the second in command, but he's really not. because whenever Mo's gone and he tries to take the Mo character and he doesn't do a good job as like the leader. But you know, I think the fact that he's able to like the little kid to portray Mo as that's a good job. The younger guy,
Yeah.
he's a
Well,
good
and
actor.
he's been an actor throughout. He was in Vacation, Santa Clarita Diet, the 10-year-old Mo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But maybe Teddy's the fourth Stooge.
So
And, and
Teddy.
I even like how they're like, Teddy, you tell Mo that he's coming home with us. Like I love that. I love that a lot.
Yeah, this is funny, dude. You tell Mo because he's coming home with us. Like that's a good one. And then you still took Teddy. And check this out on Wikipedia. Casting in March 2009, Benicio del Toro and Hank Azaria were in consideration to play the lead role of Mo Howard. The role of Mo went to Chris Diamantopoulos. Sean Penn was already set to play Larry Finn, but dropped out to concentrate on his charitable efforts in Haiti. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sean Penn. Sean Hayes was chosen to play Larry. Jim Carrey was set to play Curly Howard and gained 40 pounds for the role, but ultimately dropped out because of not wanting to endanger his health, gaining 60 to 70 pounds. Ouch. The role went to Will Sasso. Johnny Knoxville, Andy Samberg, and Shane Jacobson were all on the short list to play Mo, Larry, and Curly, respectively. That would Adam Sandler or Johnny Knoxville? I don't know who's. Let me see who Shane Jacobson is. Doesn't ring a bell. I don't know who this is, but he's an Australian comedian. But he kind of looks like a Curly. But that would have been something. Adam Sandberg and Johnny Knoxville. And in 2010, Richard Jenkins was in talks to play the Mother Superior in the film. In February 2011, Cher was considered, but Jane Lynch secured the role. Also, would have had another Cher repeat. Here you go. Larry David plays another nun in the film called Sister Mary Magellan, or how do you say it? Magellan?
It always sounded like Magdalene, Mary Magdalene.
Magdalene. Yeah, it's Mengle. So I was like, so this could be one of those. A character named after the infamous Nazi doctor. Well, no wonder it's German. Josef.
Oh, Mengelen. Okay, Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, but I was always like Mary Magdalene is what it always sounded like when.
Well, no, it's German. That's why it sounds like.
Yeah, Mengelen. I actually listened to a podcast about him and his work with twins and stuff like that as a Nazi doctor. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You listen to a podcast like that?
Yeah, it's called Stuff They Don't Want You to Know. Apparently, there's like this town in Brazil or something like that that had a large,
infrastructure of South America of Germans, Nazis.
No, well, not even that. They had a whole bunch of twins in that area.
Oh,
and so and like I said, that's where all the Nazi sympathizers went. Like there were German towns in South America. Like literally, like all they spoke was German. It was crazy. But they thought that Mengelen was working in this town and like doing something to the humans there to make them have twins. Yeah,
I was trying to go for twins, so we started taking a lot of zinc, and then that was not helping me out. My body was hurting, but I already have I guess a lot of like testosterone and a lot of that stuff in me, so I didn't need it. But hey, one shot's good enough because for two, I don't think I would have. It's hard. Wanting twins, and, like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot myself in both eyes. Let's see here. I think for that was kind of interesting. I gotta look into that. Those Nazi what do you call
dude,
it? Pockets in South America.
If you want a good like conspiracy podcast, Stuff That I Want You to Know is great. It's by iHeartRadio, so it doesn't like go too crazy into the conspiracies. You know what I'm saying? It takes a pretty even kilter. So
iHeartRadio, the ones the infomercials on the radio that they're like telling you, come on, go check out this our live audio show.
Yeah. Well, it's also like a and they do live tours, I think, but it's like a you know how you can get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you. Okay. Well, one thing I didn't do with Stuck on You was the budget, real quick. Now check this out. Wow. See. Why is this gonna offend anybody? This is such a great movie. Sorry, Stuck on You. Shallow Hal was $40 million budget, and it box office $141.1 million. Jack Black profited $100 million movie. Amazing.
Jesus.
Three Stooges did not go under, but it was a $30 million budget, but it made 54.8, so it still was a profitable, but it wasn't a hit like Shallow Hal. Damn,
No.
Shallow Hal killed. And we also have I don't know if he's a repeat offender, but he's his brother's been on here. Bill Murray's brother's in the Three
I
Stooges.
was wondering about that too. So, I love it whenever he's like, "Sorry about that, Senor Rat Lips," and like I said, dude, that's why I love having the subtitles on, because I feel like I wouldn't have caught that if I didn't have
Yeah.
the subtitles. You know?
Yeah, I got the subtitles going on right now. Where is he at? I'm looking for him. Yeah, Brian Doyle Murray. He's in here. I know his middle name's Doyle. I always forget his first name. I always think it's like Brad, but it's Brian. We also have so there. That's cool. I didn't know about Larry David snuck in the show. You caught him there. Craig Berico plays Mac, the guy that's all gets beat up. Like it's like
Repeat offender.
yeah, he's where's the repeat?
Fear and Loathing in Las
That's
Vegas.
right. He plays the camera guy, the photographer. This guy's been in some pretty good movies. I think he's an underrated actor for the most part. He's been on a lot of stuff. Let me see what he's been in. He's got 82 credits. He was in The Long Kiss Goodnight as the villain. That's a dark movie, but it's so good. Have you seen Long Kiss Goodnight?
No, I haven't.
Dude, it's well, let's see, Remy Harley, the guy that did Die Hard 2 and Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Shane Black written, Gina Davis, Samuel L. Jackson. It's a great movie. It's just really dark, and this is the sleeper cell movie. So like if you have like you know what sleeper cell is?
Yeah.
So that's what it's. Gina Davis plays a sleeper cell agent. I don't want to ruin this movie too much. It's a great. You gotta watch it. It's a great movie. But I think this actor is very, very underrated.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good actor. I think he's played. I was watching Dickie Roberts, and he plays kind of like the same kind of character as Mac, but he's a dad in this one.
Yeah, I remember him in that.
Yeah, but he does. I think he does a good job as like playing. Like he kind of knows he's playing like those sleazeball guys, you know. Like he's not or not really meant to be sleazeball. They're just kind of sleazeballish. The Sean Hayes is Larry, playing from Will and Grace. Man, I think he's hilarious on Will and Grace.
Oh yeah, dude, he kills it. Like he's hilarious in that.
I think the fact that that show's hilarious. Who's his name? Jack or yeah Jack McFarlane. There you go. He does a great job. I like the newer. I mean, the newer Will and Grace I didn't get into too much, but I like the old. There was a part where I was binging it in between like The Office, and between binging.
Boom. I knew it. Brian Doyle Murray was in Jury Duty. That's what it was.
Yes. There he goes. He's one of the jurors.
Yeah, I was like, I had a feeling that he was a repeat offender, but I couldn't remember.
God, unless they stick out, like I'm starting to realize we've watched a lot of movies.
Yeah,
If we're up,
we've definitely missed some. It's just a matter of.
And this is like if we just do like up until today, I think we're already at we've watched 50. We've done 50 episodes, but that's means we watched two for one, so that's 100 movies that we see that we know, and I've seen way more than that. But
Yeah,
that's just
that's just that we have watched and discussed.
And we had a point behind it, but it was nothing but a chicken wing, and we were just jumping into it.
Right?
Like wow, we're watching. We've already hit the
dude,
movie mark. It's so easy.
You know what? We have another repeat offender, and his name is Skylar Gazondo. All right. And you know who he's playing?
He's the nose in Slime and Salmon?
No. All right. This is 10-year-old Mo. He was in 4 Christmases, bro. That's what it is.
Oh, no way. Google me, bitch. That's it.
Maybe. It probably was. No, wasn't him?
Google me, bitch. That's him.
Yeah. So he was that was in 2008, and then he did this 4 years later. Yeah.
So he's really young. Yes, you got him. Repeat. Yeah, he is that now.
I was thinking he was too, but I wasn't sure. I didn't know where from. But yeah.
And 4 Christmas is not his top build. He's got Vacation, Night at the Museum, the Amazing Spider-Man, and Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I totally forgot he was in that.
Howard Stacy. Who's? Oh, Gwen Stacy's brother.
Yeah, and then he was in a movie that came out on Hulu not too long ago called The Binge. It was like a purge, but for drinking all night for teenagers.
Is it a
And
comedy?
yeah, it's comedy. It wasn't terrible. It was worth a Google.
Oh,
There's
yeah, there he is on the cover.
there's a movie I started or I've been watching kind of through is a Midnight Run. I saw it on Netflix. I was like, I'll give this a shot.
I love it. I love that movie. Robert De Niro.
Yep, and Charles Grodin.
You wrote it, yeah.
Yeah.
I just actually, you know what? I haven't posted about that movie because that's one of those movies that I started watching at the end of the month, and then it was on HBO Max, and then what do you call it? The next day went to the first, and it went away.
Yeah.
So I missed
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, right? I remember seeing it recently. I was like, oh, I need to finish watching it. So I watched that as a kid, but I love that movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
There's another movie with Nick Nolte and Charles Grodin, and they play like is it that one? I might be getting confused with Martin Short. Never mind, I'm gonna stop talking. But yeah, that I think.
Oh wait, are you talking about Clifford?
No, not Clifford.
Oh, dude, Charles Grodin and Martin Short and Clifford.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! I remember I saw that movie and I was like, "The hell is this?"
It's funny,
and I was
dude.
laughing my ass off. And I remembered distinctly. I was at my dad's office and had a little TV that he would watch like the stock market channel on, and every once in a while he would let me, change the channel. And I think it was like on ABC Family or some goofy channel. I just like clicked on this and was like, "What's this about?" And I think it's so funny. Like I honestly kind of thought Martin Short was a kid because I wasn't like too aware of who he was. But I was like, he looks familiar, but I didn't know.
Yeah, SNL definitely. I'll say that Clifford is. I rented it from Green's Video when I was really young, and I was like, okay, I could rent any movie I wanted. They didn't tell me shit, so I rented it. As I watched it, I was like, oh, God, that's funny, but I didn't know that was Martin Short when I was real young, So it was like I was like, this kid's doing it. Then I found out, like, I remember just clicking. I was like, wait. Where did I see him? Because I think he only had one year on SNL, or I don't know how many seasons he had on SNL, but I remember just being like, hey, that's the guy from that movie, and then seeing him from other movies. Martin Short, he's got quite a resume there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then he actually has a new Hulu, I think, series coming out with him and Steve Martin and Selena Gomez.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they were doing that tour, Steve Martin and the Steves,
Yeah.
I think, or not
Yeah.
the Steves, but
They had a Netflix special and everything too. It was pretty funny. I remember that. I think Steve Martin played the banjo.
yeah.
But yeah.
And there's a big. They came and played here in Austin, like I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and it was a big deal. Like all the people that I knew that whatever their views were on anything, they all got together and like, we're all going to this show, and I was like, all right, cool, go for it. Like, I want to go, but it had to work. At the time, I was like just still knees deep in restaurant work, so I was I'm not even gonna like bother to make plans. I'm stuck here. Let's just keep going. But this, like, I also like the scenes that in this movie with Three Stooges, that even though as adults they're ready to get adopted, they're already adults.
Yeah, it happens twice. They just rip their clothes off and they're ready to go, man. I thought that was hilarious too. I'm actually coming up on the first one right now.
Yeah, the Kate Upton scene too at the end. I was like, worth it.
It's like they've worked on this routine. It's like, I'll hedge your clippers. I'll clip your hedges.
And then that accent too. That's like kind of like old New Yorker, I guess, is where they're.
I guess so.
Yeah. So here we go. Here we got some other things here.
Man, the Mo actor just he nails it.
Yeah, he got to do it. It's pretty close. Like I mean, I'm looking at the trivia. We're having this conversation, and there's just a lot of this. Like Russell Crowe turned down the role of Mo. Jeff Daniels, James Marsden, Woody Harrelson, and Matt Besser were considered for the role of Larry.
Oh man, I would have thought James Marsden is Mo. I think that would have been he doesn't really have the face for it. He's almost, see, that's the thing with this actor is like he's not a pretty boy, but he's not ugly either. Like he's right in the middle. He's like an average man.
Are you talking about the Chris?
Chris, yeah. Go ahead and say his last name again. What was that? Chris who?
I mean, could you say it there?
Yes, it's Montopoulos.
Montopoulos?
Yeah, I have no idea what it is. It's let's see here. You were, I feel like you were doing a good job. Let me see here. Let me see. Three Stooges. Let's
Just
go.
I was getting stuff in. I'm getting some. I'm over here doing some work on the side. As you were talking there. See, I
All
said,
right, it's Chris Diamantopoulos.
there you go.
Chris Diamantopoulos.
So
All
yeah,
right, many of the scenes were
but
shown.
also like the thing about with Mo, like, but that guy, that I think,
Damn, Three Stooges is his top build.
yeah, but I mean, I think that guy's like super handsome. But as Mo, like
Yeah, no, he was in The
he,
Office. He
he
was in the
blends
last
in.
season. Yeah.
I mean, he's also Mork and Mindy. Is that true? Is that the remake? Oh, 2005. They had a remake. He played Robin Williams. Oh, no way.
No way.
He plays. It says Robin Williams behind the camera. Mork and Mindy. He's there. Oh, that's got to be a challenge. I got to watch that now.
No, dude, the unauthorized. Whoa, that is him. I
Yeah,
almost thought that was the actual picture.
Robin Williams.
Damn. Yeah. Well, like from afar,
From
like I
afar.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
They,
like, oh, Mork and Mindy. I was like, but it said behind the camera. It said the unauthorized story of Mork. That's just him doing a lot of coke. I mean, everybody knows that.
yeah, because he was
Oh,
always.
hey, somebody plays John Belushi as a Tyler LeBane on there. That's cool. That's really cool.
Oh yeah. John
Because
Belushi.
he was the last. He was Robin Williams was like the last person John Belushi saw, right? Before
Probably. I
I think
don't.
I think that's what happened.
I mean, yeah, they're all. I mean, I've been listening to some Belushi's. I listened to Chevy Chase getting into a Bill Murray the other day. And John Belushi was the reason why they got into it.
Really?
Chevy Chase is friends with John Belushi, and Bill Murray is friends with John Belushi. But Bill Murray and Chevy Chase were kind of like ego at each other. So
Mhm.
John Belushi goes to one guy and says, "Hey, yo, man, Chevy Chase said this about you, Bill Murray." Oh, really? And then he went to Bill Murray and said, "Hey, I mean, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray's been saying this." Oh, really? So then they met. He did it, and then they're actually getting into like a fisticuffs thing, and then they realize that as they're getting into it, like people on the because this is on SNL. And people
Mhm.
are trying to break him up, and then you just see John Belushi on the side like cracking up, or like just like laughing at them, like like oh damn, that's what I'm saying, trickster man. That's messed up, dude. Like he wanted to see them fight, but whatever, do each their
Yeah.
own. But
Yeah.
here we go. Many of
So
this.
it looks like Chris Diamantopoulos is a pretty big voice actor too.
Oh, he's got a lot of credits on there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
No,
Continues.
I mean, if it sounds like, I mean, he sounds like Mo, and he's playing well Robin Williams. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of voice range.
Yeah.
God damn, that's funny though. That Larry scene where he goes, oh, let me help you up with your pants right there. He picks up that guy, like that thug walking dude, like he picks up his pants.
Yeah.
Like that. I thought we were gonna get a lot of that, and we didn't really get too much of that.
No,
But,
no.
like just
They
I thought they were gonna interact with their surroundings a lot. They didn't really do that. They kind of do at the zoo, but oh, they actually no, they do. They do interact. They interact with their surroundings a lot.
they interact with the surroundings, but it's not like over the top. It's not like the good old days kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Like
many of the scenes shown in the trailers are different takes not used in the actual film. So this is like with the beginning of that, like Deadpool thing. So
Yeah.
once again, with the film was developed in over 11 years,
Jesus.
and then let's see, I got some stuff here that I was looking at. 11 years, that's a long. Near the end of the film, Curly's pet rat Nippy makes the trademark sound that Shemp Howard makes in the original The Three Stooges shorts. So Shemp, they did a little homage to him. That's what I'm saying. That's how much they give Shemp credit in this movie.
Did you what are they trying to say he was a rat? Um, no. Yeah, like the Philander Inn is the name of the hotel that they're staying at. Like that kind of stuff. I love it. I wonder if the Farley brothers so also another thing I wonder is this has been in development for 11 years or was. So since 2001 essentially, right? Because it came out in 2012.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they were like trying to make. I don't think anybody could have done it as well as the Farley brothers. But I wonder that would be interesting to see other directors' takes. Like, I wonder what if the Coen brothers did the Three Stooges.
They make it darker now. I mean, what I would say is that this is a pretty dark movie, though.
There are lines in here that are just like, whoa, man. Like,
well,
yeah,
they're talking about killing too. Like they so this not only this is a PG movie as it's told, but it's also like it's got a lot of darkness hidden.
yeah. Well, it's almost like a Tom and Jerry, you know, like
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Or like the coyote and and the Roadrunner.
Like
Were
they're
the
talking about death and like killing this guy, but you're like you kind of omit that. You're just like, oh, okay. You just go along with the story, you know?
So yeah, that's a lot. That's like, I mean, it's a lot of things. And there's like like I said, like the wife kind of gold digging, and then everyone's trying to screw everybody over for the first original wife's
And it's
inheritance.
your dad that and like that was
Yeah,
actually a twist too.
that was a good twist. They actually
Yeah.
have a good twist here. I think the fact that this is a PG movie and that these guys were able to, or the Farrelly brothers were able to make this a good PG movie. It's hard. Imagine
Mhm.
you could easily make this a PG-13 movie and you could have some
Mhm.
real fun with it. But the Three Stooges aren't PG-13. They aren't rated R. They're really like wholesome, clean slapstick comedy. So I'm happy that they stuck with that here. I mean, they do. There's a lot of stuff here with like the chainsaw on the forehead, and even at the end they have that PSA with
Yeah.
Antonio Sabata Jr.
Yeah.
Like that.
As Peter and I was about to say Bob Farley, but that's not it.
Oh, you already look at that. You already messed me up. It says,
Was it Bob Farley?
Bobby.
Okay, Bobby, that's what it was. All right.
But even like that, like I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to keep it as original as possible, and I think that's a great job. But look at this. The actors in the film are much taller than the actual Stooges. The real Mo and Larry were both 5'4", and the real Curly was 5'5". Chris Diamantopoulos, Sean Hayes, and Will Sasso are 5'9", 5'11", and 6'3", respectively. So these guys are a whole. That's got to be. I mean, they're at least the same height. They're at least close to each other. With the 5'9", 5'11", and 6'3" is kind of close.
Yeah.
Or the 5'4", 5'4", 5'5". But the thing as what I'm seeing as like. It would be different if someone was 5'5" and then 6'3". You see a huge difference. But when you're all about the same size on camera, you look the same, you know.
Mhm.
And to see these guys are a little bit shorter, to be in I mean, even I'm watching the movie right here. Curly hits that guy Mac into the freaking. He hits him with his chest into the street, and he gets run over by a snowplow. Like that's dark stuff, you know. But
Yeah.
they even make it funny because even when he's getting spun around in that snowplow, he's like, "Help me, help me, help me."
Mhm.
You know, like all that. Like
It's
they make
almost like basketball, you know,
Yes.
like with Squeak.
Exactly, same kind of thing. And then the thing is, baseball is what rated R for sure.
Yeah.
So like, it's like that's how far they go with that. With this one, they kept it under the umbrella, which I like. But when you have someone that like, it doesn't matter if everybody's the same size, like 5'5" or 6 foot. When they're all the same, around the same height, it looks good on when you record because you could kind of see it. But I'm starting to see a little bit of the breaks here with Will Sasso being 6'3". That's a really tall guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Yeah, man. Well, and like I said, I feel like Will Sasso does a great job in this movie.
Mhm.
Like he's just goofy and you know, man, I enjoy the performances from all three Stooges. Like it's great. Like it's it's you're going into a goofy movie, you get a goofy movie. And I know we've already done a goofy movie on our previous podcast, but still.
Oh yeah, goof.
Oh yeah, they're goof.
Hey, goof.
But like the comatose, like it's just the little puns and it's everything, you know. I love it. I really do. And it's like I said, it's definitely shot like a kids movie and everything like that. But it doesn't feel like it at all. This is like it's not even a kids movie. This is like a family movie. This is a movie that you could watch with your kids. You can laugh at, and they're gonna laugh at all the noises and the hitting and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're right about that. I think this is a great, all in all, this is a great movie just to kind of watch, as in like you're right, family, and it says that they're family, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the a lot of the slapsticks. I mean, even the way they're survival. These guys know how to survive. That's another thing. They don't talk about them from
Yeah,
they're
in a
orphans.
dumpster. Yeah.
No, I mean, they know how to survive. Like they're orphans, and they don't really. You don't ever emphasize on the. They don't talk about like there's certain things like the orphan kids. For the most part have a little. God, the fake. Sorry, I'm kind of going serious, but as I'm watching this, there's certain things here too, like the dummies that they throw. They show dummies like falling, and then it's like really them, but it's they use the dummy. You can see the fake dummy as it falls, and then they change it at the last moment. I thought that was a funny little gag, but even like that with orphanage, like people having like issues with just these guys have each other, so they're never really alone.
So, in the original Three Stooges, are they brothers?
I don't know. I don't know what they were.
Well, I was just asking because in one of those trivia things that you pulled up, it said Larry, Moe, and Curly Howard.
So yeah, but it's also like, would it be like the same like Mario Brothers, like Mario Luigi and then Mario? Just you have the last name Mario.
Yeah, but they're still brothers.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not. I say, is it like that? Like
Let's see.
Mario Brothers, where it's like I'm Mario, I'm Luigi Mario. What's your name? Mario. Like is that like are they like kind of like that?
Let's see here. All right. Well, no, they aren't. Let's see. Mo Howard and Curly Howard. So I guess they were brothers. And Shimp Howard. Maybe they were all brothers.
Yeah, maybe they're brothers.
And then, but Larry is Larry Fine. Like he's different.
Oh, what did you think about the scene where where Curly goes around in the drag, or not drag, but he's dressed up as a nurse and he's getting because you didn't watch the show, so that was a very thing that Curly used to do. Curly used to dress up in women's clothes and in the black and white,
Really?
Yeah, he would do that a lot. So when they did that here, I'm like, now can this movie be made nowadays? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even Mo is even in the get up. He's a female. Yeah. But like with that, I mean, I guess I'd be more pro of anything. They'd want to make.
Well, my thing too is like it's just a disguise. I don't see like there anything wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Oh, in the movie.
Yeah, it's not trying to be offensive at all. It's just trying to be a disguise.
That's true.
And, I feel like people can differentiate for the most part. I don't want to speak for everybody.
But that's a good angle. Like coming into it, like you're right. If it is just a disguise, like I mean, granted, we're saying it's a horrible disguise, but if it works, it works.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, but it is, and now because he is like and even he gets hit on too. Like. Man, guys are always on, or what? Are dudes always?
Well, it's like we've another show that we've done. This is Doubtfire. I mean, do people have a problem with that movie now? I mean, I don't think it can get made today.
Robin Williams too is weird. Like Robin Williams plays that role so perfectly that doesn't come off as offensive.
But it's like I said, it's not meant to be offensive. It's a disguise. It's something to get to see his kids.
Yeah, you're getting you're sharp after 1 year. You're sharpening up as be a good lawyer because that is that's a good case. It is a disguise. They're not doing anything but being trying to get. Oh, we also have is that a repeat offender? What's her name? She's the I can't even. I should know her name off the top of my head. I don't know it. She's the nurse.
That's who I was thinking. You're just at the hospital scene.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking was related to maybe one of the Stooges.
That's what you were saying earlier, right?
Yeah.
And before we move on, I forgot her name, but she's also in all of the. She's in Kingpin.
Oh, okay.
She's a repeat offender in all those movies. She's a landlord in Kingpin. She's all.
Oh, you're talking about that nurse? Yes. Yeah, she is. She's in. Oh wait.
Lynn Shay.
She's in Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison, isn't she?
Yeah, she's in Happy Gilmore, I believe. Lynn Shay, but she's also in all these movies with I mean, she's in Insidious, Dead End, Insidious 3, Insidious Chapter 3. There's something about Mary, like she's all up in the was it? I'm not about to mess this up. See Cohen, and I don't want to say if it's Cohen or Farrelly. There's something about. Mary
I think she's in both, honestly.
Farrelly.
No. You know what? She's a repeat offender from Detroit Rock City.
There we go. Because I haven't posted that one yet because it's only a half episode. I just feel so.
What?
Yeah, remember that's why I switched to StreamYard.
Oh yeah.
Remember we had two back-to-back episodes mess up, and I said I can't have this anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why I haven't posted it yet because it's only a half episode. Remember Mortal Kombat?
Like, I thought it was out there. Did you like? Post
you know what? I posted it, but I put that audio issue kind of thing because it's right when I got to StreamYard. It's the first StreamYard show we had. Oh, and this whole scene about the babies peeing. This is pretty hilarious. Like I didn't think like. I think the first time I watched this, it was whatever. But now with a kid and seeing that you can get hosed real easy, like how easy it is for a baby to pee on you, like I just thought this was a funny scene. I mean, a lot of the effects look so real too. Like it's just so. This is a good movie. I mean, for the most part, it hits. I mean, it's a Farrelly Brothers movie. It hits all of the senses of like a comedy. It's a slapstick comedy. It's a Three Stooges movie. I think they did a good job. Honestly, I'm surprised with my score on this. And I think if we would have started off with watching this movie side by side and then coming full circle till now, I don't think I would have been so open to it. But the fact that I'm like, oh, it's up to you, the viewer, to really see what you're watching, and maybe not. Like, we don't all have to get the same answers like 100%, but as long as we're close to each other, like it's like, all right, we got the comedy, we got the references, we get it, great. And now that I'm watching more and more movies and having somebody to discuss them with, it's awesome just kind of like I'm sorry, dude, this is so funny. Like, why would you be in a cast like all the way your whole body? Like, not even just one guy, like two guys like next to each other. Like, like this is silly. And then he goes, he's turtling it. Like, see, like the slapstick comedy.
He's
like,
turtling.
he ain't got nowhere.
I did enjoy it. I thought that was funny. There were a couple of parts in this movie where I did laugh out loud. There was something that Sean Hayes said at one point. Whenever he's at the very close to the end, whenever they figure out, he's like, "Well, who's this guy in the scarf and the top hat?" It's like, that's a snowman. But what's his name?
What's his name? yeah, like he's still trying to like. There's a lot of those little lines in here that he does that you can pick up on. Yeah, that they're silly. Man, I think they do a good job. Now I'm starting to see these guys as the Three Stooges. Now I feel like the Three Stooges, the original ones, were more eccentric because they had to be. That they really sell. Where these guys can use modern day technology, where they can use certain things to help them out. Even the lighting of the freaking dynamite, like that wasn't a real dynamite wick they lit. Like it's all CGI. But even like the hand throwing, he throws it out of the mouth piece, like the head opening. Like this is just a silly scene, man. In general,
yeah. And I think this movie was made with the intention of it being a franchise. I really do feel like that. But I'm really kind of glad that this was a one and done. I feel like, there's potential that it could, there could be more, but whenever he kicks the baby across the floor,
like a gun.
Yeah. Like, any last words? And then, but yeah, man, like whenever I first saw the slingshot, I thought they were slingshotting a baby, and it kind of scared me for a second. I was like, oh my God. But, no, I think, this was definitely intended to be a franchise. That's why you go with Will Sasso and Sean Hayes. They definitely have recognizability. Yeah. And then the Mo character, kind of like your new guy that can
display his chops, man.
Exactly. So, but maybe I'm wrong about that, because the only Farrelly brother movie I know to have a sequel is Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. And even at that, we might have to eventually get to that one. I'm not in a rush, but I've heard something. But
well, man, I was just looking up Lynn Shay, and I was like, because I saw that she was in Dumb and Dumber when Harry Met Lloyd. I was like, oh, is she in all three of them? Because she was in the first one too.
Yeah. But
she wasn't in Dumb and Dumber 2.
Now let's talk about this real quick before we start wrapping up the show up. The Jersey Shore guys.
Yeah,
I think for the time picking, because that was already coming to an end, right? The Jersey Shore was already.
Yeah.
So they kind of just brought it in because it was just kind of a brand that people knew, but it fits perfect with the mold, like a bunch of idiots being recorded.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a hard time with the Jersey Shore when they first came out because people thought I was Italian. So people would be like, "Oh, Jersey Shore," and I'd be like, "I'm not a Guido, man. Quit calling me freaking," because I didn't know about Jersey Shore. I didn't watch it until like it was already out for a little bit. Then I realized I do not need to be killing brain cells. So
dude, I didn't even watch it. I was just like, I was over it at that point. We quit watching Survivor after like the 5th season. So
I get you. And even like what do you call it? They even talk about the Kardashians in here, like the three. There's those three like.
What are the Kardashians? It's like, where those 3 idiots are here.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, those 3 idiots are here. Oh, where the Kardashians out? Like that's already like, then they're still around. Like, that's gonna be hard for
their
them to
show
go
just ended. Like, yeah,
like 13 seasons or something like that. 14,
something like that. So the Kardashians were going on at this point, right? They had to.
Yeah, they're already there. I think Bruce is still around, so. That was a thing, but this like watching the Jersey Shore thing, and I used to think like, and people just like, oh, I was thinking like Jersey Shore Guido thing, and they're like no, like an actual Italian, like so from Italy. I was like, oh, not Italian American.
You know what I just noticed this go around too? Whenever they're at the hospital, they stop and watch the TV, and it's talking about the zoo that they eventually go to.
Yeah,
and then that's where he gets attacked by the lion. I didn't notice that last time. I thought that was
Oh,
interesting.
yeah. And he goes, "What's wrong with your face?" He goes, "I got a new feline or something like that, like a new cat,
Yeah,
like
new kitty.
new
Dude, I
kitty."
thought that whole scene too with like the dolphin and the peanut, and then it hitting the lion's nut, like that was hilarious,
Hit him with
dude.
the nuts. They showed the lion's nuts.
And
Like,
that's why he's like, I'm smothering him in onions, and
oh,
just
that's right.
like,
Like, dude, those are gag reels. You know, those are funny little things. They're gag little funny jokes. Um, God, he even has Teddy has to show him the picture where Mo's holding on to the end of the the bus of the car, like.
yep,
But I think even this movie, I honestly think opening doing this podcast for a year and really getting to open up my mind on watching movies and understanding, like more or less, like you yourself have to be in a mindset to watch a movie, and then another thing is like you can't just watch a movie once and think that that's it. That I mean, I paid to watch this movie at theater and I couldn't remember it, and then as soon as you put it on, I was like, oh yeah, I remember all of this. Like,
oh
it's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, wise guy, yeah. Oh, my uncle and I always do that. No. Since I was a kid, we used to do the Three Stooges. Oh, wise guy, yeah. So that's. Oh, I forgot. Dwight Howard's in this movie. He plays a small little role in it.
yeah.
Yeah,
At the very end,
At the very end, yeah, and he's on the Magic, so that's when he used to play. Played defense. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year award. I used to love Dwight Howard, and he became whatever. But anyways. Let's see. So I just think it's funny showing the Jersey Shore, and like because Snooki's completely changed now from when she was when she first started, and I think that's great. Honestly, a lot of people give her a lot of hell. South Park made the whole Snooki no, or is it called the no?
smush smush.
Smush. But I mean, she looked gross. Like I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Snooki, I'm gonna put you down,
No.
Nicole. But yeah, I was just like, but you're on TV, it's like it
On
is
reality TV,
on reality TV,
like
yeah.
scripted reality TV. Like, come on.
Yeah, and then you get the situation. You get his character. The thing about the Ronnie and the Jay is it Jay Wow together, whatever who it was. That was a weird thing to see, like like a dysfunctional relationship. Like I don't think that's healthy. But it's good to show you that they're out there, but people don't see it as in like, oh, I shouldn't be in a relationship like that. They just look at it like, oh, okay, that's my relationship too.
Yeah.
So like I just thought it was a little too much, but. I like this scene that they have. I mean, there's a behind this production still I'm looking at right here. It's one of the first ones where it shows it shows all three actors. They're all dressed up as the Stooges, and then you have Bobby and Peter Farrelly giving direction. And the way they're dressed is the way I want to be dressed on sets: plaid shorts, black socks, orange shoes, and a T-shirt with a headset. That's like all you need. Like I want to be as comfortable as possible on a set, man. I don't want to be all dressed up all the time. But sometimes I like to get dressed up, so we'll see. When I'm behind the camera, when I'm in front of the camera, you play the role. You want it. But let's do the ratings. Let's do
it.
All right. So we're looking at Shallow Hal. It's got a 5.9 out of 10 with 130,000 stars on IMDb.
Let's see here.
You got on the
Sorry, man. I forgot that. I'm not going to open up a tab.
I got you. I'll do it, man. I know you got.
Here, no, I can do it on my phone. Give me one second.
Oh, okay. Then we're gonna move on to the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Ben Hameen comes in.
Yeah, it's mine. Don't take it away from me.
I'm not taking it away
Okay,
from you.
don't take it away from me. Sorry, that was my acting right there. You're welcome. Let's see. Shallow Hal. All right. We have a 49% on the tomato meter out of 130 reviews. And then the audience score is 45% on this movie out of 250,000 ratings. What the hell is wrong with people?
I don't know, man. What's the critics' consensus? Because I just feel
I totally forgot to read that because that just kind of irritated me a little bit. I normally don't.
Well, no, you're right. I just was looking down at the same time. I realized there's another repeat offender. It's the guy that is the golfer on the range. That's Three Stooges. The guy that gets mad. He's a repeat offender. He comes out in all the Farley movies. I just don't know his name. But sorry,
he was in Stuck on You, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's on Stuck on You.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name though.
Critics, well, if you want, you can look it up while I read this real quick. While surprisingly sweeter and warm-hearted than previous Farley outings, Shallow Hal is also less funny and more bland. Nope.
Someone got offended.
Right.
Someone got offended that was writing a review. I wonder if they wrote that review while they were watching the movie.
Right?
Yeah, like
Let's
there's
see.
just so like there's no point. I'm just gonna get mad the whole time. Let me see if I
Let's
can
see
find that
here.
character. That's a pretty low score though.
That
49.
really is
Uh,
49.
49. That's like a mid score. I think this would at least be like 60s the lowest. But let's move on to the Three Stooges on IMDb. It's got a 5.1 out of 10. 31,000 stars voted. That's a 5. Wow, that's pretty. It's pretty bad there.
Yeah. And over here on the Rotten Tomatoes, on the tomato meter, I have a 51% out of 150 reviews. And the audience score is going to be 47% out of 100,000 ratings. Critics' consensus, while nowhere near as painful as it could have been, The Three Stooges fails to add fresh laughs to the Stooges in estimate. Why are you going to put a big word in the Three
And
Stooges
is
reviews?
inestimable.
Inestimable. I see. I pride myself on knowing words, and I don't know what the hell this is. Uh,
I guess this means
Cinematic
to.
legacy. They were just trying to sound fancy. To hell with them. To hell with that critics' consensus. I hope they never like another movie again. I'm so
Uh,
sorry. That's
what?
mean, but seriously.
Nah, they're gonna keep women around because they took the time to write that, right? To write that word to offend me, to offend
Inestimable.
to offend the side by side guys. That's so. What we
I'm
found out
gonna
is
I'm gonna figure out next week. I'm gonna have that word ready to go. I'm gonna
so it's put it this way. It's either so if two people go and watch a Farley Brothers movie, you're either gonna love it and give it a 90 or like a high 80, or it's gonna be one of you's gonna hate it and the other one's gonna like it because it's 50
It's a
50.
50% chance. Yeah.
And also, I do gotta say that they have the gentleman that is the Old Spice guy. He's in the movie. He's a
Yeah.
director, so he's a
Uh,
producer.
Man, I got to the salmon farm thing, and it's like, what do you do with or what do you do with seeds? Spit them out. Like it's not a wrong answer.
He's true.
Uh,
Like that's the and that like the that guy. He's a repeat offender. I don't know his name, but he's a like the salmon farming. But yeah, so let's get to rating our time. This is our thing.
all right.
Um,
What do you got for Shallow?
out of a shall man, so 1 through 13, 10 being a good movie, 11, 12, 13 being the movies we really like. I just got to say that this movie, it gets this nostalgia thing from me. And it gets it because I did own this movie on DVD when I was younger. But I'll say that, man, I gotta give this movie between an 11 or a 12.
Hey man, we're right. We're there. We're at the same spot. I
And
wrote down 12.
yeah,
It's the same for me, man. Nostalgia. Like I just remember this movie coming out, really enjoying this movie, really liking everything about it. It was funny. It hit all the points. Even now, like I can rewatch it and it's still funny. I still enjoy watching it. Like it holds up, I believe. Um, Another thing is the song at the very end, the love grows where my rosemary goes. I used to always sing that little part too. I thought it was a nice little song at the end.
oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. That's a nice little song. I
But
think
yeah, go for it.
I was just saying, dude, from like a lot of the stuff about this movie. I mean, I could show this to my son, and I could really feel like, look, dude, you should learn something from this, and maybe you don't, but it's like how you treat people, and I think that's like a really good movie message from the overall. If you're just getting offended by the aesthetics of this movie, then you are probably the problem. Like a lot of problems, but I think this isn't a vulgar movie. This is a nice, funny movie. It has
Hmm.
some slapsticks that might offend some people, but I mean, it's a great movie. I think well told, well written. To see actors play other like character or like other characters that we mainly would haven't seen them before in other movies. I like these smaller movies too, like this. Like this is one of those comedy movies where people will talk about make a comedy, I'll make $1 million. Yeah, this $100 million, like this kind of comedy. And
Yeah.
also it's a little edgy. It's a little bit on the the offensive side, but it's not trying to, but it is. But I think it's a great movie. I'll give this a 12, definitely a
And
12.
yeah, and I mean, obviously, box office wise, it was a hit. So I don't
Uh,
understand.
you're right, exactly right. And then what? So you gave it a 12 as well,
I gave it a 12 as well.
and
That
for
rhymed.
and for 12 as well. I'll give it a dude. Honestly, for Three Stooges, moving on Three Stooges, Man, I don't want to sound like I'm just giving out big numbers, but this is a 10.
Yeah,
I'm
me
at
too. I wrote that down too.
It's a 10,
This
but
is like this is a solid movie. This is a fun movie to watch. This is
but
a funny movie to watch.
and
Sorry, go.
no, keep going, go for it. I was just
Like
saying,
it's just it's well acted. It's like these are actors for sure. Like you were saying earlier, like the Three Stooges were just trying to kind of find their way, and uh Curly and what you were saying earlier about him just kind of being himself and figuring it out. But Will Sasso actually has to act like him, and I feel like they do a great job. They look the part, they act the part. You have cultural references, to Jersey Shore. I feel like if people watch this nowadays, like a younger generation that grew up with Jersey Shore and stuff like that, whenever they were younger and they actually got to watch it, they would watch this movie and be like, "Oh my gosh!"
yeah,
I
I know what
think it
you're
would.
saying.
I think it would have that nostalgia feel for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Um, and like I said, it's a goofy movie, and it's fun to watch a goofy movie.
it is, and oh yeah, goof. I'll
Oh
tell
yeah,
you this. I'll tell you this that with this movie though, it's like it's a borderline 11 for me because
yeah,
I do get the references. I did grow up watching Three Stooges. It's really they do a great job. It's like it's right there. I didn't never thought I was Three Stooges. I was like my starting off goal was an 8, maybe a 7.
yeah.
And I was there, and then I got all the way to like a 10. Well, Shallow Hal I had it at an 11. I just went to a 12. But I'll say that this movie is a lot. It was more than I bargained for. I thought it was a lot nicer. But I'm gonna take off the thumbnail so we can get ready because this episode's over. We're at the end. Boom. There you are. Look at you right there. Stooges. They got us both.
Three Stooges.
The Stooges. I do like there's a certain personality on YouTube that football player that I like watching. And he talks about the Stooges all the time. He's talking about his friends. Like he's like a couple Stooges there. But yeah, I'm gonna say this was a great episode. We started off with a new audio, so hopefully the audio will come through.
Sounded good on this end.
I know it's how it usually does, right? And then we get into it and but I'm gonna suggest, and then this is gonna be.
You're gonna suggest Jack Black?
Yeah, of course. You know me. We've been doing this for a year. You know I'm stuck in the JB world.
That's. I was going the same way, so we're good, man. Like
you
I like that we have like we don't even have to. It's sabbatical, like it's we know.
Excuse me, everyone. Have I introduced you to my coworker, Ben Garrett?
My
We work at a video store, virtual store here where we watch videos.
You know what's crazy, man? I'm feeling like movies, like manic movies.
Oh,
all right,
oh,
like your manic movies, because it's not my manic. It's your.
they're my manic movies, but I share them. So I want to do is we're already gonna hit the year in 5 days. We're hitting a 1 year anniversary, and thank you so much, Ben. We've hit it. We're gonna hopefully keep
man.
going. Hopefully
Hey,
figure out.
this has been fun. This has been so much fun. It's nice to have something every week to kind of be like, okay, I got to get this right. It's almost like having homework, but kind of like some of the best homework you can have. You felt, yeah, but fun, man. Like that's the thing. And I always enjoy, talking with you and going over these movies. Yeah, man, it's been a good year.
Let's start the new year off for us. I would just say, how about you pick a Jack Black movie and I pick a Jack Black movie? But I already got mine picked out.
Tropic Thunder.
I will do that. I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
Jack
I took
Black.
your movie. Didn't it?
No,
Be Kind, Rewind.
have you seen
Oh,
this?
most deaf.
Most Def.
Oh
Have you seen this
man,
movie?
see, man, I just picked mine so fast. I wasn't even thinking. Like that was just, yeah. I do enjoy that movie. That's gonna be yours.
This is mine because I already have it
What?
here in my hand. But I like this movie. I love this movie, and this is where we're gonna start breaking off in the year 2 about like a little bit more about us because we can keep this route or what's it called this I don't know thing we got. But I like that we're gonna show a little change, and this goes into my world, goes into your world. So what other movies you looking for? So let's pop some off. Let's pop some JB movies out.
Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, School of Rock. I mean,
I know
let's
you love
talk
School of Rock,
Jumanji.
dude.
I know, but man, let's see here. I
And
mean, Nacho Libre. I mean,
dude,
that one's a class. Get that corn out of my
get
face.
that corner. I believe in science.
He was in King Kong, dude. Like he has
So
Gulliver's Travels.
so
Shit, dude.
so in this one, I will say
Kung
that
Fu
he's.
Panda. I mean, I know you'll probably have like some fond memories of Kung Fu Panda and everything, but hey,
I just wanted to watch the movie. Okay, she was the one. I was
listen, calm down. It's a kids movie. What's going on with you, CJ?
as
I just got memories, man.
well,
Sorry,
when you go and watch a movie and then the girl's just like not want to watch the movie.
dude. How did we not say Jack Black was a repeat offender?
What did he repeat? Oh yeah. But I don't even know. I'm forgetting our shows.
Year one, bro.
Oh, that's true.
And how
our second show.
how funny is it that we're coming up on the first year? All right, and we're ending with year one.
Yeah. I
Whoa.
mean, it's basically. So, what are you thinking of doing? I mean, I kind of put you on the spot because I had my gun loaded, so I already knew where I was going. Where do you want to go? And I like that. Like even like in year one, he's not the lead, but he's the co-lead with Michael Cera. And this one, he's not the lead, but he's the co-lead with Mos Def. So it's like he doesn't really have to be.
That's what it was. Envy. Did you ever see that movie?
I can do Envy.
Well, I don't know if I want to do it, but I'm just saying. Like I was thinking about that a minute ago. And
Hey,
I couldn't remember the name of it.
You have 9 minutes before we have to get off completely, so you have some time to think. See what you want to do. This is a hard one for you. I like this.
Oh, Saving Silverman, man, that's a good one. Well, I'm just saying, like, there's such an extensive background there and such good quality movies that it's very difficult to choose from.
Dude,
you know?
and you're just picking comedies.
Like,
you're not even picking
well,
like the ones that he gets serious. Like in what's it called? He's not in A Walk to Remember. He's in The Holiday.
The Holiday, yeah. The Big Year, where they're going around looking at birds. Bernie.
I have not seen that movie, but I heard some.
The Big Year. It's not bad.
Some pretty good things.
Yeah, I mean, it has Owen Wilson, Steve Martin in it. Like, it's got an all-star cast. Let's see here. What other?
Man, you're right, dude. Between like
he was in Sex Tape. I forgot about that. Oh, the D Train. Like, I haven't seen that movie, but it looked good.
Oh, that looked good. Yeah, with James Marsden. I haven't seen that one either.
The Brink. He was in that TV show that got canceled. He was Goosebumps, dude. He was R.L. Stein.
Yeah. So I mean, his top 4 builds are School of Rock, High Fidelity, Nacho Libre, and King Kong. So like, he's got some to lead with those 4. That's good. But I want to
see him in the MCU. I'm just gonna say it. I want to see it right now.
He'll eventually get there.
Yeah,
he'll get there. What are you thinking as in man? You got I'm gonna just give you some. I mean, you got Gulliver's Travel.
I mean, Tropic Thunder was the first one that came to mind. I may want to just go with my initial like boom. That's what I'm doing. You're sticking with Be Kind Rewind?
Well, yeah, we're doing Jack Black. I just feel like Tropic Thunder is more of a like it's Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr. It's too many. I think if you want to, I mean, it's up to you.
So you're looking for more the Cable Guy. He was in the fucking Cable Guy.
But he's not. But I'm saying like those are supporting roles. I want to.
You want a starring role, Jack Black.
If we're gonna put him as the episode, or if you want a Jack Black in the movie, because if you were to do Cable Guy, he's in the movie but only sporadically. If
you want to do Waterworld, I mean,
just that one scene, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You could have. I mean, you could. He's in it. There's no. Yeah. I'm just saying. Whatever you want. If you want to do Tropic Thunder, let's do Tropic Thunder. I love that movie.
But Jack Black sticks out. That's why I think that's fine. I mean, School of Rock, I thoroughly enjoy, and that's a Richard Linklater movie too.
And that's what I'm saying is that's all I'm suggesting. Like, I'm not trying to influence you on your pick, but I'm just saying, like, you talk about School of Rock a lot. I would think you would lean more that one. I would think, like, I mean, when you just got excited with Nacho Libre, like there are some movies here that I see you getting excited for. I think Tropic Thunder would have been the first one because it just kind of connected real easy. But I think if you once you realize there's another layer to that, you're like, oh, well, let me see. I'm more than welcome. I'm up to do Tropic Thunder. Does not have to match. We have one of the guys, but I was thinking, like, if you would really want to do a Jack Black movie, do one where we see a lot of him, or where like he shares the role of the main lead. But it's up to you. Like, I'm just saying, we still have time. You don't have to. If you want to do Tropic Thunder and that was your first goal, stick with it. Because usually, when you're on the the $1 million hot seat. You gotta stick with what you gotta the first gut feeling.
And this is how people on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire screw up. They just blurt out an answer.
That's true. That's true. But it's up to you. I mean, you can pick whatever you want, man. Because I would think even like the R.L. Stine movie, I don't think he's the main character. I think he's the face of the movie, but he's in there enough. But I mean, I've seen I've seen that movie, and it's not till like he comes out a little bit in the beginning, but it's not till like they need him, so when he's in it. But it's up to you, man. Whatever you want to do. But Tenacious D is a good one.
Shark Tale.
Shark Tale. He said Shark Tale. That's right. He's the
main character.
He's the shark. I could do Shark Tale. I'm saying.
No. Let me see here.
Yeah. So we got. Yeah. So. Jesse's son. He's got. Oh, he was on Mars Attacks. We did that. See, he's got a little scene in Mars Attacks. Ooh, Jack Black. We got stumped. He's also in. I still know what you did last summer.
I'm sticking with my gut, dude. I'm going Tropic Thunder. I'm doing it. I want to bring that movie in so bad because I have so much to talk about with that one.
We'll put it this way with that movie. This is just the bridge. It doesn't have to be three Jack Black movies. It's a Jack Black movie we did, and then compared to someone. Now we're bringing Jack Black again, but now he's segueing us to somewhere else. So it's not like.
And from there, dude, we have Robert Downey Jr. We got RDJ, bro.
We're not doing the but we're not doing the what is it? Dr. Doolittle. We're not doing that one. We're gonna do the RDJ. We're doing
no. We're gonna do.
But we're
gonna do Dr. Doolittle and Dr. Doodle. You know what we're doing? Little.
You can't even do it. Can't. Nope. We gotta. I'm not doing that.
We're doing it. We're doing it. You know what? Because we already had Eddie Murphy, and we'll have RDJ, and then guess what, man? It'll be the 1 year, and we have to do Eddie Murphy again because I'm gonna force you into it.
Are you just gonna give the people the same stuff over and over again? Are you just gonna keep giving the audience the same exact thing that we did year one?
Yes. Oh, is that not the right answer? Okay, my bad. Yeah, there's a long pause there, CJ.
We're new and improved. See?
Yeah. Guess what, man? We can still do some of the same old stuff and be improved. All right. Don't have to be improved everywhere.
We just. I just don't want to be a one-trick pony. That's what we're trying to get here.
we're gonna master this trick, bro, and then go on to the next one. Yeah, no. We're doing Tropic Thunder for sure. That's my pick, and yours. You're not changing on yours.
All right. No. Mine is. I think.
So we're both going with our initial Jack Black movie. Got it.
Yeah, because
I think that's
what do you call it? I'm sticking with it because I wasn't really told not to watch this movie like I was doing to you. All right,
you were trying to talk me out of Tropic Thunder. I was like, okay, be kind, rewind.
But I'm like, Dad, I was like, I came in here, so nah.
Fun fact, bro. They were both released in 2008.
That's what I was just noticing. Be Kind, Rewind, 2008, PG-13, 1 hour. Two bumbling store clerks inadvertently erased the footage from all the tapes in their video rental store. In order to keep the business running, they reshoot every film in the store with their own camera with a budget of $0. Director Michael Gondry, writer Michael Gondry, stars Jack Black, Yassine Bey. Is that two eyes? Yassine Bey and Danny Glover. Whoa, Mos Def's name is not even on this. And then we're going to do it with Tropic Thunder, 2008, rated R, 1 hour, 47 minutes. Action, comedy, war. Through a series of freak occurrences, a group of actors shooting a big-budget war movie are forced to become the soldiers they are portraying. Director Ben Stiller, writers Justin Theroux, Ben Stiller, and Ethan Cohen. Stars Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr. Did I misspell that? All right, so we're going on. We got moving on to the next week's episode. Our year anniversary is coming up, but we gotta go. So we'll see everybody later.
You have a good day.
Bye. Peace out, everyone. Bye now. Good